live. We're live on Instagram
Tight.
with Brad X Anderson.
Is it Brad X Anderson or is it X Brad X?
Well, in my phone, your X Brad X.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, really anything as long as there's a variation of the X.
Yeah.
I don't care. It could be
BXR XAX
all caps.
DX.
Dude,
all caps. Yeah. All right. Starting the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Ready. Are you ready?
Yeah. Talk into it real quick. Like, you don't have to talk.
Yeah,
talk
like, no, I'm not going to kiss it.
Yeah.
I might. But
It's okay, man.
it's just giving me feelings, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can hear myself.
I know, I used to do the fucking headphones, but like, I feel like, I don't know, it's easier to think you're just having a normal conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it's less like a presentation, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just like I guess it's a good thing that I like the sound of my own voice, man. Fuck.
Fucking insane. All right, here we go for the podcast. Live on Instagram.
Mhm.
Podcast is about to start.
Gee. Sing to me.
Yeah. That's you
Me
are Brad motherfucking Anderson
with an X.
with an X somewhere
Spelled
in
with
there.
an X, yeah.
BRAXD. The X is silent but still strong.
I like that.
Right?
That's very I like that. That's just that's prestigious.
It is. I always think like everything should have a silent P because it's
Okay.
the most ridiculous silent letter.
It is because is it an F sound or is it it looks fancy. Kind of sounds fancy. If you think about it, you could
It does.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just the first time you get kids to blindly believe in it.
You just broke the barrier down there.
Yeah.
You figured out
So
how to get the
little
youth to
tiny
follow. Yep.
things so that they start believing, oh, okay, so my parents can't see what I'm doing here.
Mhm.
All right. Game on.
So in a way, it's kind of like instead of like a red pill or blue pill, it's kind of like a hard P or silent P. It's the seeds of conformity is what it really is. This is how we're
That's what
convincing
it
the
is.
youth to either follow or not. So
So here's the thing for all the youth watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, don't let that be
Yep.
the standard, right?
right, replace it with an X. Be straight edge as fuck and beat people up who try to question that. Right?
Exmonia.
No, don't do that. X
Pterodactyl.
Oh,
Extradactyl.
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 That is twice the
Brad
dactyl.
Extradactyl Anderson.
That is twice the dactyl.
Thank you for coming to do my podcast.
You're welcome.
The Don't Start a Band podcast. You are the first tattoo artist I've had on here.
That's pretty. Do I get a plaque?
Yeah, I got guys, man.
Is he a good plaque guy?
He's an all right plaque guy.
Okay.
He's not a very good speller, so he'll probably
That's
be
all
down with the silent X in your name. He'll be like, that's exactly how I was gonna spell
cool,
it anyway.
man. We nailed it. Just kidding.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Shit, man. Where to start? I'm Brad. I'm blonde.
Fucking handsome as
Yeah,
hell.
I like long walks on the beach.
Oh yes.
As mentioned before, I'm a tattooer. That's
Yes.
cool. I don't know, man. It's always hard to talk about yourself
Yeah.
without sounding like a cocky asshole. You know what I mean? Like I do a lot of cool shit that I'm really proud of, but I don't like talking about any of it unless you get me talking about it,
Yeah.
and then I'll never shut up about it.
Well, see, the thing is about this podcast is it's fun for me to do. I like doing it. But also, I just feel like it's a way to connect with people, A, and B, it's like come in here and talk yourself up as much as possible
Okay.
because you're
Right.
advertising. Like
Yeah.
people are going to listen to this. I'm going to promote it. and it might be people who would have never heard of you otherwise.
This is true.
You know what I mean? So you got to sell yourself. People are like, why the fuck am I going to get tattooed by this guy? Oh, he's a fucking pilot?
I'm a pilot.
He is a
They called me
pilot.
out.
Yeah.
I'm a pilot. That's cool as shit.
That
That's
is
something I'm
very
actually going to
cool.
fly it tomorrow morning too.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Do you fly any passengers, or is it mostly just solo flights?
I can. I can't right now. I don't have my commercial rating yet. That's
Okay.
kind of on the list, but so I can't charge for passengers. Like I couldn't be like, hey, give me
Yeah.
$50 and I'll take you wherever. But I can carry passengers and everything. And
Okay.
just depends on the plane. Smaller.
Have you ever done one of those zero gravity things? And they were like, we're going zero grav. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And they just dropped it out of the sky, and there was a water bottle hovering in front of my face.
Yeah.
It's one of the scariest things I've ever experienced.
Parabolas. It's a big word for you. The P is not silent.
No.
It's a very hard P. Parabola. It's those are interesting, man. You pretty much time the angle correctly. So when you get to the top of it and then you start going down, you get that 0G effect. But essentially,
and then you swoop back into
flight.
flight.
Yeah, you're pretty much just falling at the same speed of the airplane, so it gives the illusion.
Still scary.
No,
free falling, not my thing.
Yeah, that's like skydivers, man. I like flying the things. I don't think I could jump out of one.
Yeah, there's no fucking way on Earth that I could either skydive or do one of those squirrel suit things. You know how dangerous that shit is? How many people wreck?
Dude, I've watched too many videos, man. Like people hauling ass, man. They do it like 200 miles an hour and a little pretty much like a windbreaker.
And they go through those tiny holes in canyons, and it just I just can't think that fast.
Right.
I'm good at up to 80 miles an hour in a car. And I'm good. I can anticipate. But if you start passing that into the 200s of miles per hour, I never put myself in that situation. So it's all good. Yeah. Skydiving, that some people can, some people can't. Some people can fly the planes. Person jumping out of planes if you're flying the damn plane.
That's true.
You might forget your position.
I'm out.
The
first sight of trouble.
It's all right, I flew myself up here. Now I'm getting down.
Sweet. Yeah, man. Forget
what
about
would
the plane.
happen if there was just an unpiloted, would it coast straight? Or would the controls
kind of depends. So if it's in straight and level flight, if it's trimmed out and everything, it'll just keep going. That happens a lot with if people, especially in general aviation, experience this medical condition called hypoxia, where they're up at altitude and the cabin loses pressure or something like that. They literally just pass out and die, and the airplane just keeps going until it runs out of fuel. So if it's properly trimmed and in that suit, it'll just keep going.
And then even after that, does it just kind of coast until
it's pretty much just a glider?
Then it just lands, hopefully in a body of water.
Yeah.
Not a body of buildings.
Body of buildings.
Yeah. That's what a city is, body of buildings.
I mean, that's really all it is, man.
Body of buildings and cars and assholes.
Hard emphasis on the assholes part.
Hard emphasis. Had to go to Denver this weekend for a Christmas party.
Okay.
And it seems like every time I go into Denver, there's more and more people. There's more and more me first people.
Oh, dude. It's so bad.
It would be one thing, I get that everyone has somewhere to go, but if someone's trying to get over, it takes you 2 seconds to slow down, let them over, and then get that way in the rest of the world. Or
honestly, I don't know, man. Because a lot of times people you see on Facebook the go back to California thing.
Yeah,
I lived in California. Traffic is not like that in California. It's it's bad. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking terrible. You're sitting in traffic constantly, but it's not you don't have the aggression, dude. You don't have the people that are riding your ass just to rate the spot. They're always trying to run you off the road, flipping you off and shit. So, people get mad here, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
The only time that I ever get annoyed or just unnerved is when you're merging onto the highway and you have to stop at one of those lights, and two cars, they slow down to almost a stop, and it's it's merge. You're merging at the speed of
So that's all.
Some people take that shit a little too far.
I know, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody matters. All lives matter, and all good people's lives matter in a way. That's a
Unless
hard
it's in
thing to
traffic.
say.
It is.
Because for some reason, the first thing that popped in my mind
It reaches
was
that.
yeah, like all lives matter. Well, what about the people who are racist people killing other people?
They don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
On the podcast, I'll talk about my music. Like, I'll talk about things that I can do, accomplishments, shit like that.
Right.
But I never feel like I'm better than anybody else because I don't do with what you do.
Right. Yeah. I think people do, especially these days, like no matter what you do, there are, I don't know if it's like a generalized lacking of self-confidence with good show too. It's like, you know what I mean?
No, have you ever had conversations with those people where you're having a conversation, you tell them something about yourself, and then they got to turn it on them and say, well, I did this. Motherfucker, I wasn't asking you.
Dude. Yeah, those people are just fucking downers.
It just goes to show you that there's so many different variations of people.
Oh yeah, very much. And you got to learn how to. You see them all in tattooing too, man. Holy shit, they all come through the door.
Oh yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to ask you. It was supposed to be later in this, but
okay.
If you feel comfortable talking about it, what are some of the weird, funny?
There haven't, I've been lucky. I haven't had too many like scary experiences.
Yeah.
Through tattoo shops, man, like I've worked in some shops that are kind of like rough places where it's like, holy shit. Shops in Denver. Yeah. I worked for him for like a fucking week. He was just this old school, like fucking East, the Colfax, like fucking biker dude who just, like ran a tight shift. That shop was a little intimidating, 19-year-old Brad walking in there like,
You've been tattooing since you were 19?
I've actually been tattooed since I was 17, but professionally, since I was 19. So, yeah.
I have a buddy like that.
Yeah, man. I fucked up my life nice and early, so that's a lie.
That's not a fuck up at all. Yeah. This kind of goes against what we just said, but that puts yourself ahead of other people. As far as like knowing what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, man.
I knew when I was 11 years old, I saw Travis Barker playing drums in the Feeling This video.
Yeah.
And it clicked and I said, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man.
I have never thought any differently.
Sometimes it just works that way for people. Man. Like you just kind of, I don't know. I guess it comes later for other people, but as long as it comes, man, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't, but you have a passion for something.
Passion. That's the key thing right there.
Yeah. Whether it's, your job or whatever it is, if you have a passion for something that you look forward to.
So weird experiences. It's funny because a lot of people, it's a really common question about whatever comes, very similar to this. It's great at it. It's like people always ask, like, what's the weirdest tattoo you've ever done? And I think they expect me to be like, tattoo this dude's butthole for like $60. No. So it's the weirdest tattoo I've ever done. And it comes to mind just right away. Yeah. I wasn't even a professional tattoo, little pizza job, and then I come tattoo my friends. So I had this one friend who he worked at Walmart at the Walmart. Yeah, dude, let's do it. That seems like a great idea. And he comes out. I didn't ask him what he wanted or anything, but he comes over and I was just like, cool dudes, what are we doing? And he's just like, cool, man. So I hate my job. I want to get fuck Walmart on my back. And I'm like, and you think that, you think like, oh, but me, no, 17, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Fuck the establishment. Bold, like block letters.
So we made it even cooler than that. So we turned it into all that shit. It's horribly done. It's not like don't think that this is a cool tattoo or anything. It's not like this is probably really actually like terrible. 17-year-old, terrible, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. Let's just do it. Giant on his next day, and fucking
showed everybody,
dude. And his mom was his manager.
Oh, Jesus.
It gets deeper. Yeah. So, his fucking mom was his manager. And she was furious with me because, she obviously.
Naturally.
Yeah. So she's like, why did you do that to him? Like, what? He wanted to get it. Like, why am I supposed to tell him no? Like, you probably should have. in all honesty, I probably should have told him no, but I didn't.
Because you needed the practice. You did it for
exactly.
practice,
You
right?
know, it was very selfish of me.
Well,
And you know what? Healing for him, because fuck Walmart, man. You know?
I wasn't gonna say it, but it's not my favorite place to go.
Mhm.
I would rather go to Target first.
I'll pay the convenience fee, man, the Target fee.
Yeah.
The It's Not Walmart fee.
Yeah. Dude, people of Walmart, have you ever been on that website?
Oh, dude, it's great.
That shit is real.
Dude, yeah.
Fucking real.
It is wild, man.
Not saying everybody who shops at Walmart is weird.
You can say
if you shop at Walmart, you know.
Yeah, you see those people that are at Walmart that just so happen to be there.
And you go, oh,
shit,
start shopping at Target.
And you do this. I don't know, fuck, it's Walmart.
Well, I'm here.
It makes sense. Yeah. That dude's fucking, all right, whatever, man. Best part of the story is I went into the Littleton Walmart a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, I mean, dude.
Please tell me he wasn't still working there.
I hear it from, you know, I was walking through. It was like one of the few times that I had to go to Walmart. I'm walking through and I hear it. I hear Brad. And I'm like, dude, is that fucking him? And I turn around, it's him, dude. And I was like, did you ever get the tattoo covered up? Like, is this it? He's like, no, bro, I still got it. It's fuck this place. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And he met his wife at Walmart. He still works. He's like a manager now. And dude, he's still to this day, it's almost fucking 10 years later, and he still works at Walmart, just doing his thing. He's got a happy career, but a giant tattoo that says fuck that place. So
and the thing about it that I was going to ask when you first said it is like, you know, obviously tattoos are permanent. Tattoos are forever, like everybody says. So if you're going to get a tattoo that is going to stay on your body forever that says fuck Walmart, that's almost like you subconsciously saying, I'm going to work at Walmart forever and hate it.
It's like
I'm going to torture myself and hate waking up every day of my life.
Right. Because rational people, their job. I'm gonna do that. No, man, this dude fucking committed. And you know what? He stands with conviction. I can't. You know that is commendable. That's respectable.
Hell
You're
yeah.
gonna stand with conviction. Fuck Walmart. I agree, man. Stick it to him.
Yeah. It's hard working for a corporation. I can't even imagine a corporation like that because like all the shit like with the buyouts or whatever in 2008 when those guys made fucking millions and everybody lost their jobs and shit like that.
But hey, man, you can wear like 6 different shades of blue. Like acceptable shades of blue to wear. Like
I'm colorblind. I'd be fucked.
You'd be fucked, dude.
I'd probably buy shirts that were all just beyond the realm.
Yeah, and then you'd be fucking pissed, and you come to me, and I do a tattoo that says "fuck Walmart." I got enough practice that I could do it really well this time. Yeah. It just says "fuck Walmart"
in blue.
In blue.
That wouldn't. Yeah.
That looked like the bad black ink that like has that blue tint to it that we see like after a couple years that just gets all.
One thing that I'm not super stoked with is when I roll over my shoulder.
Okay.
They're not like the poofy clouds, and there's like black lines. Just asked me if I wanted them. I said sure. Didn't really have any expectations. Trusted the guy. But it's just yellow lines, and you can barely. What it is it's black like dead rose. It's all wilted and being rained on, but in the puddle. In the reflection of that dead one, there's like an alive one and a sun and like.
See, that's got potential, man. That's got potential to be a really cool tattoo.
But I think it's because I was 17 and the guy probably didn't take me seriously.
Fuck this kid.
He's also the same guy that I told him I wanted a string of music notes and I wanted it like coming up my shoulder and I wanted it to be on like a staff and all that shit. And so he did this piece for me. It's on my shoulder. And years later, I'm just scrolling through Google Images for some reason. I come upon this picture. It was just like some kind of. I was not happy.
That's
covered up.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
I can understand if you ask for something like super creative and giving you something that's like 100% unique to you, and it's not. Just.
Traced it on the whiteboard 5 minutes before you came in. Check it out, man. Like
I've worked on it all night, man. I think I'm really gonna dig it. Yeah, fuck that shit. But that guy working at Walmart,
it got to me. And it's funny because, like I said, didn't even happen in my career. Like in my career, you would think like, people have this assumption that tattoo shops are like these wild places that like,
Yeah.
fucking, like
I
something
mean,
interesting.
that wasn't really what I was referring to. It was mostly like, have you ever had those people who like yell when they're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
tattooed,
Oh,
or
yeah.
like they cry, or
That's a day in the life, man. It's like you get to, they
stinky feet? So
dude,
many
I
stinky
hate
feet.
stinky feet, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Or just like smelly people in general. Like like it's like, dude, come on. Like just go maybe like wash up before you come in.
Here's a
tattoo
tip
shop.
for people who are going to get tattooed, especially if you're sitting for a while. As somebody who's been tattooed a couple times, always put on deodorant.
Please.
Because your armpits will sweat because it's getting your adrenaline pumping. So like
everything sweats, dude. Your fucking forearms start sweating when you're getting tattooed.
Oh yeah, it's
get up and there's just a body print of sweat and gross on the chair.
I mean, I don't sweat that much, but I know that my armpits definitely sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And like those long sessions, sometimes you wake up the next day and it feels like you were working out for 7 hours at a time.
Dude, hard spot. Yeah. Dude,
yeah.
In an actual
like
tattoo
this spot, like right,
it's pretty much just like you're paying for a bruise at that point.
That felt like somebody had 10,000
my business card.
10,000 needles of fire going into my veins.
Anyways, call me.
There's your next metal band name.
Damn.
Your
easily my waist. Yeah, dude, easily my waist. Like it's man. Anybody, it's funny, like anybody who knew me in like high school, middle school, anything like that. I went from being this super emo
kid. Did you ponytail it?
Every now and then. I was that guy.
It's just crazy because I mean, you probably weren't a douche about it. You just
no, it was just my hair, dude. It was really. I will say it was, and anybody who ever knew me back in that day can attest to this. It was soft as shit, man. Like I had, it was like. It was gorgeous. It was like
this.
Oh, dude! Because it was this color blonde, man. This like light blonde. Everybody thought I bleached my hair. No, dude, this is just. It's
So
it was
movie Tangled.
Yes.
I think they saw an old picture of you and they thought, let's make a girl.
Yeah. I remember one time very distinctly.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's like what? I remember very distinctly one time I went to like lunch or something with my grandma. She picked me up. We went to like some restaurant, and the girl at the front came around the corner and was like, "Oh, how are you ladies doing today?" And I was just like, "Good."
Builds character.
It does. Little Brad, man, dude.
When did you start growing your hair?
Probably like 13 or so.
Yeah.
The second, the teenage rebellion hit.
Yeah. So like
almost 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I had.
Are there pictures on your Instagram?
Not on my Instagram. Maybe I'll have to find one and dig. I've hit them all the way. I still have them, but I'll have to.
You met Dakota, right? Dakota Beard.
Yeah.
He sent it to him. I think he got rid of it, but he used to have a picture, same hair.
Yeah, I was made into several memes. There's one, it's the iconic bathroom selfie in your parents' house, just sitting there, the long blonde hair, and somebody put "existence is pain" over it, and I feel that it is. Yeah, that'll be the next metal band logo, though. That'll be good.
Yeah,
grow the hair back out. Yeah, start flailing around, get the windmill going.
Could you do that?
I did.
Did you play in bands?
I did. Yeah, man, I played in.
Let's start because I did know that you were a musician. You play guitar and stuff. So let's start at like when you got interested in like starting to play music.
Okay. Yeah, that's so a bunch of his old burned CDs and we're just like, yeah, you check these out, and it was like a bunch of old, like the original, the very first like Stick to Your Guns album.
Really?
Like, and there was, I forget which album it was, but a Comeback Kid album, and then there was a bunch of metal stuff and like Old Atreyu and like,
oh really?
Yeah, dude. So he gave me a bunch of that stuff, and dude, I fucking loved it, and it was just like all I listened to ever. And I was like, all right, dude, I want to get my first guitar. Like, I want to start playing this shit. I want to be fucking shredding. I told myself I could shred, but in reality, it was just a bunch of like really shitty picking on one string, just going up and down the fretboard. Like, thought I was the fucking shit. I think everybody started that way. If you started playing heavy music, you were like, yeah.
I started with Wonderwall and Tom Petty and all those. Those chords.
That's all right, man.
I don't know.
Man.
Actually get into like shredding and like doing picking shit until 2 years ago ish. I wanted to make better backseater songs.
That's okay. You know,
Yeah.
everybody, yeah, it's all right, man. Everybody has their
That's right.
roots, you know?
You know what I just learned recently is you know that song by the Cars, Just What I Needed,
Yeah.
from that,
Did you?
because here's a little, tip off to some people. We are going to be covering that song.
That's a good song, dude. That would make for a rad cover too.
Yeah. And
makes
if
me
you
excited.
can, because it's like they got the synthesizers and shit. So if you can like make it fucking rock and hit you in the face.
You could twist that around a little bit, make it really good.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're playing it even lower.
You know where I was going with it, man. I just got a bunch of heavy music.
Wanted to start shredding.
Yeah.
One string.
Yeah. It's not even a Squire. It's like the knockoff of the knockoff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
damn.
like, yeah. No, it has the Strat body and everything. And it's just like the knockoff.
Yeah.
Of that. I picked it up at the music around by my parents.
How often do you see people like skateboarding anywhere? And I'm talking like skateboarding.
Dude, you
not
don't.
a longboard.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's weird. It's like,
and that's how I got around every summer.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
Oh, seriously, man. Yeah. Like, God damn it. Never gonna say. Yeah, you'd always hear it be like, which one of my friends is that? You know? But yeah, man, like, I mean, I guess there's still a bunch of kids in skate parks, which is cool, but like, yeah, you never see them fucking around anymore. Like,
not as much, man.
Running into cars and shit. And
causing
trouble.
I feel like people, and maybe it's because we're old and we're out of that scene, but there's just not a lot of people causing trouble anyway. And it seems there's not a lot of people that want to stop trouble.
Right.
Because those people who stop trouble get videos of them put on the internet.
Right.
And they get twisted.
Right.
To make it look like I was doing nothing and this guy just decided to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, right. It's like they don't show the 10 minutes before where this kid is like swinging a skateboard around or some shit.
Yeah. Like in I think they did that in the Baker 3 video. Did you ever see that?
Dude,
they did some crazy shit.
Dude, all the Baker video. Oh man.
Yeah.
Just this is your brain on Baker. Holy shit, man. I remember watching skate videos like every fucking day.
I ripped that video off of, I think it was Kaza at the time.
Is there a Kaza or LimeWire?
Yeah, it might have been Kaza or LimeWire, but yeah, I ripped it off, had it on my iPod for years and years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Shit was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days. I'm not even that fucking old, man. Like what we were talking about before, where it's like, what do I feel? Fucking, I feel old and young at the same time. It's fucking weird.
I feel like things just change more rapidly than like 2000, even 2010 to now is like, there's been so many different subgenres.
It's weird. Yeah.
I blame memes.
Fucking totally, dude. That's probably, I mean, realistically, that's probably the reason, man. It's like people become those, like, I don't know. You almost start noticing it. Like, you know, I'm, because of my business, I have so many random fucking people on Facebook that I have no idea who they are. You know, like, sorry if you're watching right now, I don't know you. Fucking,
dude, I have so many people that friend request me too. Yeah. But here's the thing: is they friend request me, and like minutes after I accept it, they send me a link to like their band.
See, I don't get that as often anymore. Yeah. I get the like people who just ask me a bunch of questions, go nowhere questions about getting tattooed. And
so I had this idea, man.
Yeah. How much? I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. Come to the shop, and they're like, okay, how much though? I don't know, man. Come to the shop.
I charge $300 an hour. See you later.
Cool. If you'll pay that, I'll fucking tattoo anything on you. Maybe not anything. Maybe not.
Just look through their profile pictures, like see how they're living.
Yeah, right. No.
You know what? For you, I'll do $170 an hour.
That's pretty good, man. That's a good cut.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
Well, you know what? I like to help people.
That's what you're generous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. But you start to notice it because you know you're friends with so many people on there, and like it's almost weird, man. Like the meme culture or whatever you want to fucking call it, it creates like a bunch of people that literally have the same personality.
Very much.
It's like you could look at them and it's like, yeah, you act like a fucking meme. That's weird. That's really weird. Like I don't know, man.
Probably because you see it so many times and it gets like ingrained in your head the next time you're out and about. I mean, it's worked well for pumpkin spice lattes.
It really has.
And like white girls or, you know, people in general.
Yeah.
Because you pass that Starbucks and you go, all right, I'll get one.
Right? Like,
tis the season. What the
why
fuck?
not? Yeah. Now they have a juniper one. Apparently it tastes like a bush. Yeah.
Juniper latte?
Juniper latte.
That sounds terrible.
I don't know, man. It's like, but I want to try it because it's like, what the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's really weird. Is it taste like dirt?
I was watching this vlog and there was a pistachio latte. These people were in like Japan and they had a pistachio latte. I'd be down for that.
That actually pretty good.
That's amaretto. Does that come from almonds or pistachios?
I think almonds. Almonds sound.
Yeah, because they both have an A.
Yeah.
And no P.
And no P. Well, maybe.
If you know where amaretto comes from, if it's almonds or pistachios, comment it, please. Oh, Dakota said something. Let's see what
did he?
Yeah, let's see what he.
Does it have a silent P or
the juniper one is amazing? You would think so.
Is it? Okay, cool. So because
I bring up my past gig. Hey, you know what? You deleted the pictures, so if anything, it's just gonna draw people to your page, and they're gonna see your clothing line, and it's all gonna work out. So
yeah, man,
you're fucking welcome.
Yeah, and then I'll post one too. We'll compare. Compare metal pictures.
Juniper latte though, I'm still hung up on that because like
a bush.
Yeah, like I don't want a lilac latte.
You might.
I like the smell of a lilac.
You might. I don't know, man.
That means it's juniper and coffee.
Juniper and coffee. I think there's a lot of sugar in it.
Oh,
which the fucking Starbucks and everything has sugar in it. But I saw that the other day and I was like, what the fuck? That's a bush. It's literally a juniper bush. Like, does it taste like fucking dirt? That's some seasonal shit.
I mean, I fucking love those peppermint white mochas. Give me the worst stomach ache because there's so much sugar and just like heaviness in it.
Oh yeah, dude, everything. Yeah, like that's one thing. Like I can't do that. I want to try that. It's because it's bush. That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't know, man. Starbucks. I feel like every year they try to do something like that.
Oh yeah,
trying to
just like trying that new thing. Or juniper is a bush. So in turn, it sounds like a vegetable, which in turn sounds like a healthy latte.
Sold. Because it's embarrassing.
No,
it's not embarrassing. It's
like I knew you were straight edge, but I didn't know you were that straight.
XVX, bro.
But you drink caffeine.
Yeah, I mean that's fuck yeah.
How can you call yourself straight?
I know, right? I fucking
Griffith
broke all the
does
rules
too.
Wow, man.
I guess we're all just breaking edge around here.
Edgewatch 2K18 going on 2K19.
Do what you do. As long as you're living within the parameters of straight edge. So like
here's my
take. You can go really
yeah.
deep on it, just like anything else. You can go really deep and crazy on it, or you can, customize it, make it your own.
Well, and it's like there's a lot of debates about that, which is funny because dude, like I mean, I always joke around that there's like fucking 4 people in Denver that are straight edge anymore, and I know all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like fuck, man. People used to argue about like the hardline shit, where it's like if you drink an iced tea, or if you drink a fucking coffee, or if you drink whatever.
Some people think that they can still be straight edge and smoke cigarettes.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. I think that's over the line.
That's no. That's not good. But like, I mean, I understand the argument. Yes, you can be addicted to coffee. Like caffeine is a stimulant. You can be addicted to it and everything. But like, it's at that point, you can argue that same for like anything. You can be like, I'm addicted. Yeah, I'm addicted to food, or I'm addicted to fucking energy drinks, or like, running. It could be productive. It could be self-destructive. Yeah, man. It could be you try to get me hooked on that.
I told Brad what a kendama was.
Yep.
And if you want to know more about kendamas, watch my podcast with Taylor Park. I showed it, went all into it.
He's trying to get me hooked, man.
I just want friends.
It's all right, man.
I just want friends to play my toy
ball in a cup game.
Yeah.
It's not a ball in a cup.
I just want to get my balls and your balls, and then we'll just toss our balls together.
I like that. I don't think there's anything.
If you want to see the visual, go watch on YouTube.
He's doing the visual very
Jake
well.
Backseaters on YouTube. Look it up. We're live right now. But yeah, you can get addicted to anything.
Yeah, and that's like a hard argument, man. And in my mind, it's like, okay, like cigarettes, very self-destructive. That's fucking terrible, dude. There's no argument about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I do understand. Yeah, like if you drink a lot of coffee all the time, like maybe that could start to have some negative effects. But like dude, it's a fucking bean. It's a coffee bean.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You know, it's like,
It's not tobacco and
Yeah.
tar and
I'm not
rat
sitting
poison
here
and-
shaking, fucking getting mad at people because I gotta
Yeah.
go, you know, buy a coffee or some shit, dude. I just,
well, sometimes I get a little cranky.
I mean, I understand. You know,
Yeah.
it's you need the black bean water.
Yeah.
Give me the bean water, man. Like, it's fucking.
No, I'm 100% on board with you. Like
Yeah.
caffeine, it's
Well, and here's the thing too. It's not necessarily like a chemical.
if you're an adult, you need it.
Yeah, man. Life is tough.
Yeah.
Fucking. It's
Caffeine,
my vice, man.
caffeine is naturally made. Some might say that about marijuana,
Yeah.
but obviously that gets into the whole disrupting your whole natural state. So
And psychotropic effects, you know, because it's like you can drink caffeine and everything, and you can maybe get a
Yeah.
little sharper, I guess.
Yeah.
To some people it doesn't even have a fucking effect.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually alter your state of mind. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think that is where the line is with straight edge. It's like,
yeah,
if you're going to do something that
and you can get a hard buzz from like the first time you smoke a cigarette
Oh,
or
yeah.
chew tobacco.
oh
like,
yeah, dude.
you get pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you get that fucking dizziness and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's the line. If you're taking coffee to that extent, maybe that's a problem. Maybe you should.
That's
kinda,
a lot of fucking coffee.
That's a lot of fucking coffee, man.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't. Yeah, I've never seen it that way.
Yeah.
Like ever, and it's so weird that people. I don't think they do maybe anymore because I think
Mhm.
it's funny because
Just
like
not a lot of people are straight.
dude,
edge anymore.
dude, it's just not a thing. It's not cool anymore. Which
I still
sorry,
think it's cool.
yeah. I
I always
do.
associated hardcore with straight edge just because like the
Yeah,
first band that got me into like on the hardcore route was A Day to Remember,
yeah.
and like Jeremy was straight edge. They had like little straight edge lines in their
snippets, yeah.
songs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Danger in Starting a Fire. He said, "Keep your fingers crossed," and in the music video, he holds up the X.
Totally.
So
It's. I mean, it always
Yeah.
has been, man. It's like. I don't know, man. That's what we were talking about before we started this, like the old hardcore, like the old straight edge hardcore
Mhm.
and all that shit. I love it.
yeah,
You know, and that's where the association is for me. It's like that's what I think of when I think of hardcore. Is like the old varsity X's fucking everywhere. Maybe that's just
Yeah.
me being like, oh, back in the day, man. But
well, I think 4 Years Strong had one of those varsity jackets. I mean, it was a 4 Years Strong jacket, but it had the X on it
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it's crazy how that has changed in music and straight edge. I still think it's badass. I think it's cool.
it's just it's.
Well,
I mean, it's
the guy that came up with it,
Ian McKay.
yeah, from Minor
Minor
Threat.
Threat,
I always
yeah.
remember Minor Threat, but not his name. His whole premise behind it was just so that people would be able to go to shows and enjoy the show
Yeah. Oh yeah.
for what it was, as opposed to getting fucked up and
Yeah. You know, and
making yourself like it.
I've watched, I straight at the whole sobriety thing because I came from, I mean, dude, like 10 years ago, I was not fucking straight. I was a
Yeah,
alcoholic, like bad dude. I fucking,
yeah,
sober me, much better person. Interviews with Ian McKay and like
Mhm.
read so many articles. I fucking love that dude, man. Like
Yeah.
I love all of his music. I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, it's totally along that premise where it's not like some militant thing. It's not like, oh yeah, you got to do
Yeah.
this. You got to this is the set of rules. This is, no,
Well, it
man.
wasn't developed as like a, brush.
Exactly. Dude,
You know?
that is like the most stupid fucking thing
Yeah.
to me. Because especially now, man, like it all ties back to that, like there's no straight edge people left, know?
Yeah.
So like, what are we going to do? Like all four of us sitting around together and fucking drink water? No, man. Like most of my friends drink. Most of my friends go
Yeah.
out to the bars. I still go out and have a good time with them, man.
Yeah.
I just get fucking hooked up with free soda water all night. And that's
I know, right?
That's
When
fine.
all your friends are drinking, you go, "Can I just have a Coke?" And
Yeah,
they're
like, yeah,
you
fuck
try
yeah,
and I mean, I always tip them like $1
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But there's been a handful of times where I've played shows
Mhm.
and like there might be a waitress walking around or something like that, and you say, "I'll just have a Coke," and then you get it. The first sip, they've put rum in it. I don't drink basically at all. Like
Yeah.
I turned 21. And that, like, after that, it just kind of lost its appeal. And my big thing about it is I don't like being hungover.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like
yeah,
having
yeah.
to say, Saturday, I'm going to drink. Don't schedule anything for Sunday
Right.
because I'm just going to devote a whole day to hell.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, no, it's I don't know, man. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's so ingrained in our culture to do that, and it's like, people look at it as really weird when you're sober. Like, I mean,
everybody thinks you're an alcoholic when you're like, nah, I don't drink.
Yeah,
they
it's
go,
like, bro,
do you not
are you
want me to
okay?
drink?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
look, dude, fucking go for it. Like, if I had, it's free will, man. Like, if I wanted to drink, I'd drink.
It's a choice.
Things that I really like about one of my favorite interviews with Ian McKay was when he was talking about the straight edge lifestyle and what it's about and everything. And it's like, it's not a fucking lifestyle, man. There's no effort to it. It's not like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. I just wake up in the morning and I don't do that. Mm-hmm. Not a big fucking deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going out and drinking, several nights a week, man, that's a fucking lifestyle. That's like, you have to actively make that choice. You have to go out and do that. You have to get ready to go do that.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is like, it's kind of when I really break down like alcohol and thinking about it, no one ever starts out liking the taste of beer or vodka or wine. Like you have to force yourself to do this continually.
Yeah. And then it's like an adaptation. Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing with like being hungover, drinking multiple nights a week. Like, don't get me wrong. If you do that,
no, you fucking do it. Yeah, dude. As long as it's not self-destructive, like that's my biggest thing. That's my only thing, because everybody's so like, well, do you ever like get bothered that your friends do it? If my friends are doing it and they're being responsible, they're not driving fucking drunk, I will fuck you up if you drive drunk.
Yeah,
fucking.
I think everybody in our circle of friends.
Yeah, I think but yeah, like that. As long as it's not a self-destructive thing, man. If you're going out and you're having a couple drinks with your friends or some shit, like dude, that's fucking fine, man. I just know, like, I don't have the self-control to only have a couple of drinks.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So instead of me like trying to dance with that, I just cut it out, man. And it lost its appeal to me, just like you were saying. Like it just
that's a big thing, is that self-control. And like I admire people who can, have that IPA and enjoy it for tasting like cake and strawberries. Like, cool. But I wouldn't like that. So I'd just say, all right, drink Bud Lights until my face gets a little tingly.
Yeah, man. There you go.
Yeah. So
two, I think it's all like the differences with people, man. Like connection, social media. You see what's normal. Social media becomes normality. Everybody's behavior becomes normality. So you see somebody who doesn't do that, like somebody who's straight edge or somebody.
I guess for some reason, I don't know if it's the way I was brought up or whatever, but I never really thought about other people's choices. Like, if you're vegan, like,
dude, that's on
cool.
You, man. Yeah.
You want to do that.
Yeah.
Just if I want to have a cheeseburger, don't hate my guts.
I hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
And I hate vegans who are like that, and I hate straight edge people who are like that. Like you should never impose your views on somebody else, because it's, like it would be the same as if
I'm definitely down to have a conversation though.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of questions, delves deep into something like veganism. I'm going to ask a lot of questions because I want to understand.
That's good. And that's actually a dying trait, it seems like conversation in general, because it's like, that's, you look at a lot of the social problems in this country, and it's like a lot of it is just because people won't fucking listen to each other.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with something to listen to it. You know what I mean? You don't have to, if you just hear somebody out, you can say like, cool, well, I'm educated on that, and I know that I can make the decision to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But like you shouldn't, like the imposition of views, man. Like if you, but it just goes to show, like you didn't even fucking know I do that. You know what I mean? And it's like,
wouldn't think twice about.
You know what I mean? Like, granted, if it's somebody close to you, like if it's, you have a friend who's like having problems with health or alcoholism or something like that, and their lifestyle decisions are at the center of that. Yeah. Then it becomes a problem. Then I think it's okay.
Make suggestions.
Yeah, maybe to breach that subject, but. When it comes to just like,
it's a self-righteousness when people try to impose veganism sometimes.
It absolutely is.
It's any group of people, whether it's vegans. I hate that the next thing on my mind is juggalos. There's some guys that like, I really understood this when I was younger, and I wore a lot of Blink-182 shirts. Mm-hmm. And I knew this kid who liked ICP, wore ICP shirts. Yeah. But he didn't run around. He never painted his face. He never had a hatchet. Like none of that shit. It was just a band that he liked. Right. But there are some juggalos that used to have a problem with the kids who skated at Redstone.
Dude, that was a weird time, man. When it was like, you saw somebody like full fucking ICP, like, because usually they have like full sleeves of like the tattoos and shit.
The last time I think I saw a Juggalo was probably in Casper, Wyoming.
That makes sense.
Very much.
Like everything, man, with lifestyle decisions, with music, like that. Like, you like that band? Fuck you. I don't like that. What, dude? Why?
Yeah.
Like, I
just say you like this band. You don't have to say like,
this band is better than this band. It's like, I don't care, man. I enjoy it all. Like, fuck, it's music. Like, that's the point. It's to be enjoyed.
Well, and I know people are probably tired of hearing me say it, but the big thing about music for me, and this is like kind of a new thing that I've kind of latched onto, is that with everybody being different and everybody having, different brain connectivity or whatever, I hear a song like Come Away With Me by Norah Jones, and that just does it for me. It's jazzy, like, If I Had $1 Million. Yeah, it's weird, but that song makes me I get it. So happy.
I get it. No, man, that's no. I think that's good because I'm very much the same way. Like a lot of people, I think, listen to strictly one thing, and they may have like a couple variations of that taste and everything. But dude, my fucking like my Spotify thing, how they just did like the year in review. Yeah, it was like, this is your top 5 artists, and for most people, it's like genre. It's all the same. It's like this artist and then plus this artist who is probably was probably toured with that artist. Yeah. It was all over the fucking place for me, man, which is like, it's funny because like I'll go from listening to, I love fucking obviously hardcore, metal, punk, pop punk, that kind of shit. That's just a no brainer. But then like, you start getting into like the weird, like folk indie stuff. That's awesome.
I do like that stuff.
Oh yeah, man. You get back into like almost like a bluegrass. Like there's some bluegrass shit that I'm like, dude.
Old Crow Medicine Show.
Yes. Deer Tick. Have you ever listened to Deer Tick?
I have not.
They're fucking rad. Dude, it's like indie bluegrass folk rock. It's fucking cool.
Check it out.
Yeah, dude, like shit like that you just wouldn't really think to listen to normally, and then you start listening to it, and it's like, oh shit, man, this has like, it's fuckworthy. You know what I mean? Like, anything bluesy, anything jazzy. You just, I think it's good to just appreciate music in general. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just stylistically, but just like good musicians.
On the radio sucked because I went to Warped Tour. He turned that off was the Lumineers.
I fucking love the Lumineers, man.
Because I just heard it so many times on the radio, and I was like, God damn, this is good.
Yeah, it's like you first start hearing it.
To deny yourself or deprive yourself of something that you
caught myself doing that sometimes too. Which I think we could tastefully agree. Most of what's on the radio, like the top 40 shit,
some very bad shit.
Fucking, dude, it's garbage. But it's funny because you start looking into some of those artists, and you might hear like a melody or something in one of those songs. You're like, oh, that's actually not too bad. And then you start looking into those artists, and you see other shit they've done, like if it's whether it's older or whether it's like other projects or whatever. It's like, oh shit, there's actually something like good about this. Maybe that's just like the overly posy shit. But I think it's like everybody has their hit.
Yeah.
And usually that hit sucks. You know what I mean? Like it should not be a hit, but
writers like
seriously, dude,
stories and stuff. And it just,
I remember, like 93.3 used to overplay the fuck out of Lumineer because it was just like, I've heard this so many times.
Yeah.
But dude, they're actually like one of those artists that like, it's just so, like you said, it's very good at storytelling and all that stuff. Actually, I used to really hate Jack White for some reason.
Same.
I've
recently.
I've gotten super into him. Yeah. You start listening to it. He's a fucking great songwriter. And like,
well, and he's he's a total genius because not only with songwriting and being a guitar player and being an innovator as far as like building his guitars and customizing them. Right. Like he had that thing in the Raconteurs or whatever. Yeah. It was a microphone that came out of the bottom of his guitar. Yeah. And it was like an old fashioned mic and he talked into it and it came out of the amp and it was all fuzzy and crazy.
That kind of shit. It's just like,
but the way, even with his album art, the emotion that he's trying to, get people to feel or relate to, he does it with color. I watched this whole video where he'll
use that in like different imagery and everything like that. Like I think I could be wrong, but he has like some record that has like some holographic image that when you play it on the actual record player, like it's a vinyl,
Yeah.
and it like shows and it starts to turn into this hologram that like kind of pops up off the center of the record. It's a fucking trip, man. And stuff like that, like that's innovative, man. That's like, you know, like you're taking your music, which is like one of my favorite things about his music, I think, is that it's simple, but it's very not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's simple sounding, and it's very.
Well, he gets that from the blues.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's very blues derivative, and it's like no, that's actually like very complicated music that he's doing.
Yes.
And he takes that and he just adds a whole different dimension and level to it by adding the actual artistic sense of like the use of colors to kind of change people's psyche when looking at it. And it's fucking crazy, man. I used to hate that guy.
What is it, Seven Nation Army or whatever?
No, that's boring to me.
Yeah.
But that's a prime example of what we were just talking about, of like that song that became a hit that got used it got used in fucking commercials, it got used in everything. And it just sucks. It's like, sorry if you like that song, but it sucks. Especially in terms of Jack White's work. But you know, you listen to older White Stripes stuff and like it's totally different. You know, it's like, oh shit, that's like really, it's very folky. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, going along the lines of like commercialism and shit, like using songs in commercials, the funniest one, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but did you ever listen to the Transplants?
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yes.
They had Diamonds and Guns as the
shampoo. Yeah. The shampoo song.
And I just used to laugh my ass off because like, this song is so like explicit, but because it has the
like that. It's like that. Oh my God, dude! I remember that because that's when like that's the day punk died for me. No, man, like I remember hearing that because that's around that time when it was like skateboarding and punk and everything was still like really a thing. And it was like, what the fuck, is that a Transplant song in that commercial? And then it got used in like car commercials and all kinds of shit, man. That's weird. It's funny though. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Have you seen that like documentary? It's called It Might Get Loud, and it has Jack White, Jimmy Page, and The Edge from U2.
I haven't. That sounds actually really interesting though. Yeah.
It is really cool. Like it talks about their, you know, bringing up and what they went through, like guitar wise and shit. And like how they came to be, because all three of them are very different. The Edge uses like a shit ton of pedals.
Right. Yeah.
And like Jimmy Page is, you know, Jimmy Page
raw,
from Led Zeppelin, even though he stole Stairway to Heaven.
He did.
Old classic song from somewhere. But and then Jack White has his grungy, like low high quality shit, and
that's what I like about it. It's like professional garbage.
Well, and he talks about this song that's his favorite song in the world, and it's a blues song, and it's this guy and he's clapping out of time.
Okay.
So it's like a little unnerving, but he's singing over the top of it, and that's the whole song.
That's pretty rad.
It's his favorite song in the whole entire world.
See, I think that's where like the roots of just like that, any soulful music in general. And I'm not necessarily just talking about like, you know, folk or blues or something like that. Soulful music in general, dude, hardcore soulful. You know what I mean? You're using an emotion to convey something. Yeah. But I think you can root anything back to that, where it's just the old stomp clap shit, where it's like, may not have been on time, may have sounded like shit. They may have been singing off key, but they were conveying an emotion. And that's like, you know, because I can appreciate classical music. I can appreciate very well done, well put together, composed music. Yeah. But it's not as interesting to me as like, as something that's powerful like that.
Yeah. I've worked with some songwriters who will sit down and they'll go, all right, I'm going to write a song now in the key of E, and I'm going to play these chords, and it's going to sound like this. And
it's produced. Yeah, technically it sounds good, I think.
Well, yeah, they design it and they go, well, this is supposed to be a good song. Good songs are written in this key in this way, and they use these keywords and blah, 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 blah. But like, I didn't really know anything about guitar until a year ago or a year and a half ago. So everything Backseaters wise written before that was literally just me fucking around. Like I've learned
this sounds cool. Yeah.
And even when I started taking guitar lessons, the kid I was taking them from, I'd ask him, well, what's this chord? And it's like, one of my chords. And he goes, that's like a combination of 3 different chords. He's like, it doesn't really even make sense.
Yeah, dude. That's the funny thing, that I've actually met a lot of musicians, really good musicians, who kind of have that same thing where it's like, how, like, you may not be able to read sheet music, or you may not be able to do any of that shit, but you could still like just come up with a song that sounds good, and
exactly
it comes across like more, it's more raw, you know what I mean? And maybe that's a pretentious statement, but there's truth to it, it's like, it's very raw.
Well, hardcore dancing wasn't an orchestrated thing.
Exactly. You're not sitting there like, okay, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
That was brought about by emotion. Like, you just
I'm
feel
fucking
it.
mad.
So
I gotta punch the air.
Throw fists. I'm gonna kick backwards, and I'm gonna fucking flail my arms. That was not a setup, choreographed thing.
That is not a production at that point. Which it's kind of funny because the same thing tends to happen in the art world with tattooing and everything like that. You have that sense of production, and then you have those people that just like you could tell passionate artists versus I don't know what you'd even call them. It's like a very, I don't know. You see that produced art, like everybody sees it now, where it's like the very, I don't know, like music, art goes through trends, right? Like in the early 2000s, you had the very like, you could look at a tattoo and you could see the way that somebody did their roses or something like that, and, or banners or some shit, and be like, oh yeah, that was like the trend back then. So there are trends, but you see, especially like nowadays, where you have a lot of tools and resources available, like an iPad, which is like a self-correcting drawing mechanism at that point. Which, some people use it, some people do great art. I can understand the pros and cons of it. I see more cons for me than anything. Because you have like this, I don't know, it's almost like you could look at somebody's tattoo and be like, oh yeah, they drew that on an iPad, because it's like the same fucking, like they're using the same brushes to draw things. They're using the same,
it's like a little too perfect.
It's exactly. It's weird because, I've used an iPad before because somebody's like, dude, you got to try it. It's great. And like, you literally, instead of like training your hand to do a straight line, you drag the line across, you hold it, and it just immediately like straightens out.
Jesus.
And it perfects itself. And it's like, it's a pretty much like, it makes really nice designs. It makes really nice art. Nice looking art, but it's like there's no imperfections and everything, which every art, no matter what medium it may be on, is going to have imperfections to the artist. Maybe not necessarily to the viewer, but to the artist. There's going to be imperfections. It's like music. Well, I fucked that up, and everybody's like, no, you didn't. It's not great.
Sometimes that fuck up, like you play the wrong chord, but you kind of go, oh, that
it worked.
Sounds like it could take the song in a different direction. Have you ever had that when you're like sketching something out and you like kind of fuck up, or like start going the wrong way, and you go, well, that could actually be a shadow
all the
this.
time. Dude, when I sit down to do a drawing, and I don't know how it is for other artists because every artist works differently, but me, I don't really have like a vision of what I'm doing. It's not like I have this like artistic, like, oh,
you see it on the page.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking, like I don't have that aha moment. I just like kind of have a rough idea of like, maybe I'm gonna draw fucking whatever. I don't know. And you just start kind of sketching it out. You start getting your shapes laid out, and then like, you sit there and dude, it transforms just like entirely. And that's just the way I've always worked. That's the way I've worked with music too, is I'll come up with like a bass, like maybe I want something to sound like this. And by the time I'm done with it, it sounds totally fucking different. Or it looks totally fucking different. And 100%. It's just, it's more organic. It's more just like you're letting it turn into whatever it fucking wants to turn into, what I mean?
Well, that's the cool thing about, for me, being able to play drums and guitar and bass and piano and all that shit.
You can compose.
Well, there's been times where I just go, I want to play this beat, or I'm just, dicking around on the drums, and I make this like kind of weird beat, and I go, okay, I'm going to record it, make a verse, chorus, whatever. And I'm not thinking anything about what the guitar is going to sound like or what I'm going to say in the song. I just know that my heart is making me do these drums, and then I'm going to fiddle around on guitar until that sounds right and conveys the emotion, and then I feel that and roll with it.
Yeah, and that's how, like, I don't know. I think that's how it should be. You should have that kind of.
There's a place for perfection and a place for adventure.
Yes, that where it's like, I think especially now in both music and art, which is cool because, you know, it so happens that, you know, my art happens to go very well with your art. You know what I mean? Like the two, like, I don't want to say scenes, but the two scenes are very intermeshed. You know what I mean? Like tattooing and alternative music.
Is
it's
very,
it's
intertwined.
It's like, it's very, it's synergistic.
Yeah. Well, one thing about that guy that did the shoulder piece, the thing about him is he is like one of those quote unquote perfect tattoo artists.
Right.
He can copy anything off the internet, but he doesn't do paintings or draw things in his spare time.
See, that's
he
weird to me.
Tattoos for money.
Yeah.
Whereas like the guy that's done this whole sleeve and like the stuff on my legs and stuff, he genuinely enjoys just producing art, and he hangs all his like stencils and drawings and stuff on his wall, but he doesn't let anybody say, I like that, I want that one. Like the octopus will always look different, lighthouses, like shit like that.
Absolutely.
They all look different.
Love that shit. And I love working around artists like that. I love it's inspiring when you do, because I've worked in shops where you have a bunch of people who are just replicationists, you know, where it's like, okay, well, they can, you know, print this off and apply a really clean tattoo and it looks nice, and but there's no like soul to it, there's no heart, you know what I mean? But when you start getting into that, like it's fucking weird to me when a tattoo artist doesn't have like a shitload of art in their booth. You know what I mean? I've worked with a couple of people like that too, where it's just like
job.
Where it's like, this is like your lifeblood, man. Like that's all I fucking think about. I mean, literally, like
they probably just forget why they got into it.
You know, it's, well, you know, a lot of what it is now.
You got to have like some sort of passion though. If you want to be a tattoo artist, like,
oh God,
that doesn't come easy.
No, that you are driven by your passion, man. That is it. Because the first few years of your career is fucking miserable. I mean, you're literally, you're doing bad tattoos because nobody's a good tattoo artist, right? You know, out of the gate.
And you have to practice on shit that is not human skin.
And you have to do like tattoos you don't want to do. You know, you don't really learn how to like kind of, I guess, actually collaborate with your clients for a while, because, you know, like somebody comes in with a fucking bad idea now. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell them, this is a bad idea. Here's what we should do.
A hatchet man.
Yes. All right. Here's how we're going to make that look cool.
So you ever done a hatchet man?
I actually have. Yeah. I've done a couple of them. And that was in the beginning of my career, actually. Nice. It's like, but you know, if somebody came in looking for something like a bad idea several years ago, it would have been like, well, okay, you know, you're kind of timid and you don't want to tell them that their tattoo's a bad idea. So you just do it. And you do tattoos that don't look good and all that shit. And it's tough, man. You earn your place in tattooing. And a lot of people are really starting to forget that. A lot of people, they get a year or two in and they're just like, I'm a fucking tattoo artist, man. I'm the shit. This is what I do. You know, like they just have that in their bio on their Instagram. And it's like, dude, no, there's so much more to it. You know, it's like being a musician, like playing a couple shows and saying
you can always get better.
Yeah, exactly, dude. If you think you're done with your apprenticeship the day you leave your apprenticeship, you are dead fucking
absolutely
wrong. Like you need to.
And there's so many different styles. Like this guy I work with, got this thing, and I can't remember for the life of me what the style is called. I think it has a J in it or something.
Maybe a silent P.
Maybe a silent P. But it's like it's got like a World War II bomber, but like intertwined. It looks like a background. It's a letter that some soldier wrote home.
That's
and
pretty
it's
cool. Yeah.
Like there's some parts of it that are super like detailed, and then there's other parts that have like a traditional sense to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like kind of neo-traditional, but it's like, I don't know. I'll have to ask him what it is and tell you.
It may not fall into a category at that point. It may just be that artist particular.
Because I don't know a shit ton about tattoos. I know what I've, been around.
And which is the normal thing, I think.
I think that's one thing. And I mean, my tattoo artist, shout out to Mike at Dark Millennia, not to take away from you. He's a good tattoo artist too.
Dude, you know what? More tattoo artists need to fucking support each other. There used to be a community where you could sit around, you could go into other shops and you could have commonality. You could sit around and talk. Now, dude, everybody's got their thumb up their ass and they just like, if you're another tattoo artist and you're like
your competition.
Exactly, dude.
Everything you're saying about like tattooing and tattoo shops is the exact same for the music scene.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because bands don't go and support bands that much anymore.
I remember, I mean, I've seen it firsthand playing in bands. I've seen it firsthand, obviously being friends with bands and everything. Yeah, dude. People will just finish their set and fucking leave, you know. And it's like, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys got to play, you know. And it's like, it's
sometimes you need those bodies because the only people there are the other bands.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, man.
So, but anyway, what I was going to say, sorry to cut you off, just real quick. I think, well, I know because he told me one of the things my tattoo artist likes about tattooing me is the fact that I am colorblind. So he can do some crazy shit with colors. And like, I trust him, but I mean, like the different blues that he put in the octopus.
Yeah, man.
Like, he matched that green eye to the shark's green eye or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool shit, man. No, I mean, it all looks great. And it's one of those things, like I have.
The funniest thing is I have colorblind glasses, but I didn't know that there was red in here until I got the colorblind glasses. I thought it was just all black.
That's fucking awesome. Dude. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's weird because you see those videos.
Yeah.
You know, but
that's the first thing I do when I put them on, because I'll put them on every now and then and I just look at them and I go, those are insane.
Yeah, like, those are actually really colorful. Holy shit. That's cool, man. Yeah, no, I think I've been fortunate enough to make friends with a lot of different tattooers. Yeah. I've worked with a lot of them and I try to, it's
Toby's
tough.
A really good artist. That's cool that you guys are.
Oh, dude. You know. Yeah. I call him my soul sister, man. He's become one of my best friends, and it's like,
and he's straight edge and vegan as well.
Yeah. So we hang out and we don't drink and we eat plants.
Fuck it,
fucking party, man. But yeah, dude, like, you know, I mean, there's so much to be said about that. Where it's like, so many, like I've tried to introduce myself to other tattooers too. That it's like, you know, you may know somebody who tattoos your friends or who you've seen around, or you're the weird mutual friendship on Facebook or Instagram, but you never actually interact. And I've tried to walk up and be like, hey, what's up? Like, you're so and so. We followed each other for a while. I'm Brad, and you just kind of get like Anyways, and it's like, dude, hey, fuck off, man. Like, we're both doing the same thing. Like, I don't care how booked up you are. You don't care how booked up I am. You know, like, I don't care if you like my tattoos or don't like my tattoos. We're doing the same fucking thing. Yeah. We've obviously, well, most people at that point, if you've been doing it for as long as I have earned their place in the fucking industry. You know what I mean? You've been tattooing long enough to make a career out of it, not just be a tattooer for a year or two, which is what a lot of people are. And there's, you know, if you're only a year in, keep fucking going, but don't have a big head about it. But
well, also recognize the fact that, again, I know a lot of people say it and it's beat to death, but you're putting something on somebody's life forever.
It's sacred,
and just because it's not going on your body, still take pride in it and make sure that you did the best that you could do.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Because a lot of people, it kind of wraps back around to that, the style thing. A lot of people ask me, like, what's your style? Yeah. You know, if you look at my Instagram, you scroll through it, you're going to see tattoos done every fucking different way. You know what I mean? And basically what I try to tell people, and this is without sounding arrogant, is I do good tattoos and I will do any tattoo. I mean, it's
you got to sell yourself.
I do.
The people who you tattoo will sell you, but like for a different audience.
You know, at the end of the day, it's I'm not selling tattoos, I'm selling myself, literally, because that's the way I look at it. Is like, I'm doing tattoos, but like that's a part of me.
All you gotta do is post a selfie.
You know, you sell yourself. Some of my selfies get more fucking likes than my tattoos, and that's embarrassing.
Because you're jacked in your selfies. And you're not like one of those jacked guys that has tiny legs either. Like you posted one recently, and your thighs are like as big as my torso.
I'm all leg, man. You know what? I'll take pride in that. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm not.
I admire that about you because, you know,
I'll take
you're going to do it, fucking do it.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, like you see so many guys who specialize in one thing. Yeah. I don't like that. I'll do anything that comes to the fucking door and I'll try to make it look good. I'm not saying like, I'll make every style look fucking perfect to that style. I'm saying, I know I'm confident enough to do a good tattoo. And if you come to me and I say like, hey, this is what I like to do, and maybe that's not your thing. All right, cool. Well, I'll still do what you want to do and I'll still make it look good. You know what I mean? Obviously I'm going to try to push my own fucking style, whatever that is. you know.
Do you ever do like a little research? Like if someone comes in with like a more off-brand style that you're
Mhm.
not 100% used to, do you ever like look into like the origin of the style or like
Absolutely.
different,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
concepts about it?
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, that's just kind of like it's like an education. You know what I mean? Like, why would I try to do something without knowing something about it?
Yeah.
You know, like one thing that I will actually turn down, which I turn down tattoos all the fucking time. Like, there's some artists that are like, "Oh, just do it, make the money." Nah, man, if you can't do it well, check yourself. Know that you can't do it well. If somebody comes in asking to get a fucking like Maori tribal, you know, of like the traditional like Islander shit with all the different. Dude, there's so many different symbols and everything like that.
Yeah, the
You can
sacred
only
geometry shit that fucking blows my mind.
Some of that's just really cool.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can research about some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't go back and find a tribal symbol that means this.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of have that education have that passed on to you from somebody who does know.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that if somebody comes in and they're like, I want something like this, and I can't really connect with it, I won't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if somebody comes in like, you know, hey, I want this thing, whatever it may be. If I don't fucking know about it, I should know about it because I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can kind of put more passion and put more heart into something if you know more about it. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, this is supposed to mean this is supposed to look like this, you know, you kind of, it's a bigger picture thing. You're not just, you know, it's not just an image. You're not just supposed to trace it and fucking, all right, there you go. That's what that is. That's flat. That's bland. There's no interest in it. It's that composed music where it's just like, oh, this is an E chord.
Yeah.
This song is an E.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Like, fucking sweet, man.
Yeah. Depends on, you know, how passionate you are. Goes back to, you know, the start of the conversation and that's a big thing with like tattoo artists and why I really want to be tattooed by you, why I like the guy that I have gone to, is there's a passion for art. Yeah. It's not a day job. It's not a copy and paste.
It's a lifestyle.
It's because I know that you will enjoy it and, you know, you will take pride in something that I feel strongly about to get tattooed on my body.
Yeah. And that's important, man. I thank you for actually saying that, because that's good that, you know, you can kind of sit there and intrinsically think like,
I know I've been telling you that, and I know that like, you're probably like, yeah, dude, you're never going to get tattooed by me. But I promise you, I will get tattooed by you.
Oh, we're going to do it, man. We're going to do it.
Yes, 100%. You know what? Possibly what I would like. So I want this tattoo, right?
Okay.
I know you get this all the time.
Day in the life, man. Hit me.
My all-time favorite song is a song called Brothers on a Hotel Bed by Death Cab for Cutie.
Okay.
And there's a line in it that says, on the back of a motorbike with your arms outstretched, trying to take flight, leaving everything behind. Some part of that I want quoted.
That could be turned into really cool imagery too.
But what I'm thinking is there's this artist, I think he's called like Hellcat Designs, but he does a lot of the artwork for like Brian Fallon, the Gaslight Anthem, and Rancid. It's like almost kind of comic booky.
Yeah, it's like it's like that modernized, almost like pop art.
Yeah,
it's
kind
like
of like
poster
that.
art, like that kind of shit. Yeah,
I want something like kind of like that with like a girl on the back and like her hair is waving in the wind. She's got her arms out, but you can still see that there's a guy up front driving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Somehow, but I know that I wanted to take up like my whole calf and back of my legs. So,
you know me, man. I'm down for.
I mean, I got ideas for fucking days. So
we'll make this happen, man. That's what I do. So
I will 100%. And you know what? When I hit you up about it, that's the thing is like, when I'm going to get tattooed, usually like I will get it unless there are circumstances outside of my control that come in and prevent me from that. But like, I'm not going to waste your time and have you draw something up.
Oh God, those people are the worst. Man.
Yeah.
Like I understand. I get it. It's, you know, it's exciting to get tattooed. It's exciting.
Do you do a deposit fee?
Always. Yeah. Literally always.
That's smart.
Yeah. That's one thing
because it's still your time.
It's my time, man. And that's one thing I'm always like totally transparent about. And I don't know if you saw on my Instagram a couple of weeks back, but I had an issue with somebody who canceled their appointment, didn't show up, didn't reschedule, didn't tell me nothing about it, and then asked for their deposit back. and then called me a thief for not giving it to him. It was like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah, you wasted my time because
Yeah.
I blocked, a certain chunk out for you to come in. A, B, I drew this shit.
Yeah,
Spent
it's
time
like-
on it when I could have been drawing something else.
There's no, it's
Yeah.
there's no, you always take a deposit. Always, it's never refundable. It's never,
I don't think there's anything wrong about that at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, most people don't, and which is, I'm glad, because I even posted a survey too, because it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, not to be a fucking asshole. There's so many people out there that think I'm just like the biggest asshole on the planet, and they're probably
Never got
right
that
to a
vibe
degree.
from you. There's probably people who
It's-
have never had an actual conversation or
I think so.
cared to listen to what you have to say.
I think so. Yeah.
Also, all right, sorry, another side note about, people as a whole, empathy. I think that's another thing
It's
that
dying.
people might read that and
Yeah.
maybe assume you're an asshole,
Right.
because they refuse to put themselves in your shoes and say,
Right.
well, yeah, I'd be fucking pissed off too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're gonna get the tattoo and you're serious enough about it, a deposit shouldn't fucking matter.
Exactly. No, it's
So-
because it's like, and if you don't have the money to
Mhm.
get tattooed, don't put the money down on the deposit.
Exactly.
Like, don't be like, I'm going to put a deposit down and then I'm going to get, 2 more paychecks between now and the appointment, or,
Yeah.
however long it's booked out, whatever. And then that, come that day, all of a sudden you are fucking short on rent and you're like, I can't get tattooed. That's not my fucking problem, dude. You're taking money out of
Yeah.
my wallet. Like, if
Yeah.
I don't tattoo, I don't work, I don't make money. I got bills to
Exactly.
pay just like everybody, man.
Some
Like,
people probably think it's a hobby or something because it's not a 9-to-5 desk job.
yes, there's a weird, people almost act like, I don't think you'd call it entitlement, but it's like a sense of like,
It's entitlement.
well, it's
There's-
like it's, no, you are tattooing me and it is a privilege for you to tattoo me. It's like,
Those
okay,
are the people who probably don't tip you.
exactly. Yeah. Or they ask for their deposit back and get really mad at me when I don't give it to them. Which, yes, to
Yeah.
a degree, it is absolutely a privilege to tattoo somebody, right?
Yeah.
I am selling myself, I am selling my art, I'm selling my heart and soul, and
Yeah.
you are buying it, right? But also at the same time, don't come in there acting cocky like I have to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's at the end of the day, man, it's my fucking art. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to give you my art if I don't want to,
Yeah.
and that's one thing that it's you have those tough decisions sometimes where it's like, you have this person that is maybe just like coming at you a little weird. You can tell maybe they're cocky or something like that. And they're just being a dick at the shop. And you're just like, all right, man, well, I was going to have a good day in tattoo today, but I guess I'm fucking not now. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a weird balance. It's, but yeah, there are those people that it's totally like, they think they're just the only person getting tattooed by you.
All right, you need something to do today.
Yeah, you need
so
something
I
to
guess
do.
I'll
You
give
need
my
money. You
body.
need that. Yeah, exactly. It's like you are the almighty client. It's like,
Yeah.
no, there's, if far enough into your career, you have enough clients where it's like, if you miss a day of tattooing, it hurts, but it's not like the end of the world. 1 or 2 years into your career, somebody cancels, that may be your only appointment for that week. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But then when people, they come in with that self-righteousness that it's like, dude, come on, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Just, level with me. I'll level with you. I just want to create art, man. I want to give you something. Just let me give it. Let me do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, let me fuck it. Why make it difficult?
The people that don't tip, that fucking blows my mind. And my urge to tip, I mean, it comes from just being a decent human being,
Right.
but also because, and maybe it's because I am a musician and I know that shit doesn't come easy. You got to perfect it.
Right.
And you got to fucking piss yourself off to fucking learn something.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Whoa.
Okay, I found something on the web for spell off the fucking alarm.
Siri's freaking out. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate that you took the time to learn this and all that. And you are doing a service.
Right.
I am paying you for your service. And someone like you or good tattoo artists,
Mhm.
they should be tipped, because something like a tattoo and a good tattoo is in a way priceless, because it's the only thing that you can purchase in this life that you will have forever.
get it forever.
Yeah.
That's no, that's a good point. And it's always the tipping thing is always kind of awkward just from an artist perspective, because people always ask like, well,
Yeah.
how much should I tip you? Is it 20% like a waiter? And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. There's no standard. there's no standard for how much you tip your tattoo artist. If you think I did a good job and you want to give me a tip, I will fucking graciously accept that.
Yeah.
If
you don't want to seem entitled.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to, if you don't tip me, that sucks. It's always here's what I find. It's always on the ones that you're like, you know what, let me get this person a little bit of a hookup. Like they're, whatever. Maybe it's, I don't, for whatever reason, you always have that that little moment of I'll go easy on this person. I'll give them a little bit of a break on the price. Like I'll do it, even though I'm not really feeling it or whatever. And then it's always those ones. And it's always the biggest pain in the ass clients that you'll do that. And they'll just walk out without tipping you or without thanking you or anything like that.
Well, and they probably also don't think about booth rental either.
Yeah. They don't think about booth rental, cause a lot of us are, either booth rental, which is just like any other space rental, your apartment, your rent is due every month. It's like your booth rent is due every month. Some artists are also on commission where it's they may have to drop a percentage of that total for each tattoo. Yeah. And so it's you're not raking in all that money. Like people are like $150 an hour, man, you must be making a shitload of money. And it's well, I'm my own business.
Supplies,
yeah, exactly.
They're not supplying your ink and machines.
That covers my fucking. It's a business. I'm literally as an entity. I am a fucking business, and that is scary.
Yeah, it's tattoo artists, hairstylists.
Yeah, it's exact same. Parallel industries. I shouldn't say it's the exact same. The semantics of a salon versus the semantics of a tattoo shop are a little different. I think salons are actually more structured than tattoo shops. Yeah, probably. But still, it's very similar industries. And it's the same thing. Yeah, a hairstylist or a barber, they're going to have to pay their booth rent. They're going to have to pay for their chair. They're going to have to pay for that fee. They're going to have to buy their own supplies and all that shit. Nobody does that for you. It's not like it's not like you're just giving me $150 an hour, like we're doing a 3-hour tattoo. You give me $450 and I'm all of a sudden just like, cool, I just pocket that. It's like, no, well, some of that has to go to my space. Some of that has to go for this. Some of that, and then and taxes. Let's fucking talk about that. Fuck that, dude. We get taxed on average. I get taxed almost 23%.
So how does that work? Do you just keep track of?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm technically an independent contractor, so I have to. I'm my own business.
Do tips go into that too?
They're legally supposed to. Yeah, it's a gray area. One of those things. But it's like you're supposed to keep track of all the tattoos you're doing. You're supposed to keep track of your income. It's not like if you have a job that you get a paycheck, they give you a W-2 with this is how much you made. It's like, no, I have a fucking notebook of every tattoo I've done.
Have you heard that shit about the girls with private Snapchats?
Oh my God.
How they're getting fucked.
It's so fucking bad.
It's just so funny because it's like, what did you think?
I mean, seriously,
you're putting in all this money. Right. You're going to wonder where it came from
how
they can get some from you.
Income. It's fucking income. Yeah. The greedy hand of Uncle Sam will always want that income. Yeah. And it's if you want to be a sex worker, man, fucking more power to you. I think we're at a time and place where that is, I don't see any fucking problem with that.
You got to pay taxes just like
if I have to if I have to pay 23% of my fucking income, you do too. Yeah. That's how it goes, man. We were tattoo artists were pissed if they started coming for us because it used to be, the days of Sailor Jerry and all that shit, the old school, the roots of tattooing. Yeah. It was an underground thing, man. We didn't fucking claim taxes.
Yeah. It was like a side job,
It was more of a counterculture. It was more of an underground thing. It was very counterculture. It was very kind of
cash under the mattress.
Yeah, that type of deal. And we're still in a day and age where people are not necessarily taking it as seriously when you're looking at the professional realm. And maybe not necessarily jobs and hiring and stuff like that. I think that's progressing in a really positive rate. But more in the sense of banking and shit like that. When it comes to important stuff, man. If I want to buy a house, I'm gonna have trouble. And the only reason it's not going to be finances. I can file my taxes. I can show that I make enough. I can show that I have enough to put on a down payment. Yeah. Only reason is they're going to look at me and they're going to consider me a risk because I walk in there with neck tattoos and say I'm a tattoo artist. They're going to put.
Well, yeah, they think that there's a lot of flux in that.
Which there is. If you look at the industry,
strippers have the same problem because they bring a pay stub that has shit for money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But they have all these fucking tips.
Oh yeah.
But that's not what they're looking at.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you probably even have a harder time than a stripper because there's no pay stub.
Yeah, there's none.
And there's no set. I make $500 a week.
Yeah, there's no salary. It's just I guess you can understand economically why maybe banks are a little weird about it because it's like, yeah, if the economy takes a downturn, we enter the shit.
Yeah.
Well, not as many people are going to get tattooed, man. Technically tattooing would be considered a luxury industry. And the reason being is because it's an unnecessary expense.
Like plastic surgery.
Like that. It's like if you fall on financial hard times, the first thing to go is going to be your tattoo appointment. Nobody's going to be sitting. Yeah. I mean, well, for most people, it's like, nobody is going to sacrifice their rent at the expense of a tattoo.
That's true.
And so that's the thing is that's where I think they see that instability, which the thing is, it can be applied to most industries. You have a car salesman, right?
Yeah.
Car salesman, they'll make a fucking ton of money.
Like I know they probably have a hard time too because they also have shit for hourly.
Yeah, because it's
waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing. It's any industry like that, but for some reason, because I look a little, I wouldn't even call it scary. I look the way I do. I tattoo, that kind of shit. I'm technically categorized as a high risk for banks and financial shit. But it's tough, man. It's like you get into that realm of the actual career side of it, and it's like, fuck, man, I didn't think of this when I was like, in my apprenticeship.
How many people do? You know what I mean?
Not many, man. There's a lot of surprising amount, and this is. I'm so responsible. Like, let's preach about responsibility here. There's so many fucking tattoo artists out there that just like do not do their taxes and shit, and that is scary to me, man. Like that's and it falls under the same thing.
You can go to jail.
Yeah,
they will come find out.
Yeah, they will come after you if you are posting fucking tattoos on your Snapchat. You can lump that all into the same fucking category, man. I'm basically like
There's no such thing as a non-profit tattoo artist.
Yeah, nope, that's a lie.
And if it is, you probably don't want to go to them if you value being disease-free.
Disease-free and having nice tattoos, man. That's
that's a big thing too. Is like when somebody goes, "Oh, you paid $80 an hour for that tattoo. My guy only charged me $30."
Yeah, it's like,
look at mine compared to yours.
Quality, man.
Your rose looks like a butthole, and mine looks like a rose with petals and shit like that.
Oh, seriously, man. Yeah, no, that's a big thing, and that actually drives a lot of weird competition in the tattoo industry. And it's frustrating because you'll have people just undercutting each other, and it's like
you don't want to be the Walmart.
You don't. And you know what? There are artists out there that like are the fucking target. They are the nice, warm, welcoming fucking.
I can think of one shop off the top of my head that I would classify as. What's the next big thing above Target?
There's. What would that be?
Because like Target has good products, but this would be
it's
like
not great.
This would be the store that has the same products as Target, but calls it something different.
Okay.
And charges more money.
Oh yeah, I can think of a few like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that in the tattoo industry, unfortunately. But yeah, it's.
Oh, I think I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Start with a W.
It might. It does.
Okay. Well, Walmart.
Yeah. Silent P. Fuck.
Yeah. Jesus. Spelling.
God, man. Education. Everybody needs it. But yeah. You get
even if you're going to be a tattoo artist, because you got to learn about taxes and personal finance.
Seriously, man. Like I say I'm just some art kid that draws all the time. I got no fucking math and shit. I guess let me back up. I'm a pilot too, so I guess I should probably know fucking math. Right? Yeah, maybe. But you don't think about that with tattooing. Like, you don't, it's like, you got to know the business side of it. You got to know sales. You got to know fucking advertising. You got to be crafty, man. So you have to use that creativity. Because a lot of artists are very self-loathing in the sense where it's like, well, nobody's getting tattooed by me. I guess it's just the way it is. It's like, no, man. Fucking be hungry. Get out there and do it. Like, get out there and think of ways to bring people in.
Yeah.
Like, think of ways to advertise and all that shit. And like,
same as being in a band.
It absolutely is.
Like your business card, I'm not gonna lie, that first business card you gave me when I met you in San Diego, like that, that thing was like thick as fuck. It had your like logo, the hang loose sign, like embroidered into it.
Yeah, man.
Like that's a nice business card.
Yeah, make a statement, man.
Trust that guy.
Yeah, make a statement. I still have so many of those fucking things because I ordered like,
Yeah.
oh dude, so many.
I thought Tilly's ripped you off. I went into a Tilly's and they had a shirt, had a skeleton hand, and it was holding up something, either a peace sign or rock on or something like that. And I couldn't remember off the top of my head what your logo was. And I texted Colin and I was like, yo, I think Tilly's is ripping off Brad's logo.
Get ready, a fucking crowd of people show up at Tilly's ready to fight him.
Yeah, it wasn't though.
No. Yeah, it's just shit like that, man. You gotta think of creative ways to get out there. Absolutely, it is the exact same way with music.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of hype things up, like
and be honorable about
Yeah.
it, because obviously there's shortcuts you can take that, just like not paying your taxes, you will get fucked and found out in the end.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. It's like if you rip somebody's song or somebody's tattoo off.
Exactly. You want to hear a rip off that made it big and didn't get fucked? I wanted to tell you this earlier. So you've heard that song Closer by the Chainsmokers?
Yes. Yeah.
That song ripped off the piano melody from Over My Head by The Fray.
No shit.
Because it does the exact
oh fuck, it does.
Note for note.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard that, and the day I heard it, I've just been telling everybody, hoping that somebody on the Phrase management goes, you know what,
Wait a minute.
we deserve a little bit of money off of this fucking $1 billion.
Yeah, at that point,
piece
it's
of
just
garbage.
a fucking sample of that, It's
Yeah.
like, whatever happened to the Fray? And they were like Denver superstars, man.
They were, and like their first album that was on like Grey's Anatomy and like all that shit, like it was such a good album. Their second one was like pretty good, and then they had like their most recent one, it didn't hit me in all the right spots. And then they kind of just fell off the face of the earth.
Huh. Yeah, it used to be like, I mean, I can think of a whopping fucking maybe 4 Fray songs off the top of my head. Yeah. And those are the ones that, A Day to Remember covered. So
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, the Fray, that band that A Day to Remember covered.
Yeah.
They're from Denver.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Fray, 303.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever listen to that band Single File back in the day?
Single File. That name sounds familiar, but I don't think I could honestly like pinpoint any of their actual music.
They had a song on 93.3 called Girlfriends, and it was like, all my girlfriends are breaking up with me.
Yeah, they were from fucking, oh my God, that was Denver. Wow.
Yep, and then their bass players started a little folk rock group called Baywood.
Okay.
It was actually really good. It's like mostly acoustic. But that dude, being from here, has like gone on tour with Chuck Reagan and Brian Fallon.
That's cool, man.
He's made his way into like the music world, and like he's not a big dude, but like he gets,
does recording artists.
It's just cool to see that he came from Colorado.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of good music in Colorado that goes like really overlooked. It's kind of
because of marketing.
Yeah, I mean,
big part of it is like you could have the best songs in the world, but if you're not unfortunately paying money to get it out to people,
right,
no one's going to hear the best song in the world.
Yeah, well, and I think it's the kind of supply and demand thing with like location. Everybody, if you hear like a song and they're from LA or they're from New York or it kind of like adds like a level of like, I don't know, like just that demand for it, like, oh yeah, like I listen to a lot of my artists are out in LA, that kind of shit.
Well, a lot of Colorado is revolved around EDM. There's this standard generic alternative sound that like I really don't like in Colorado.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that
Colorado rock.
It's the alt indie. It's like
it's
I know what you're talking about. It's like I don't even.
At least you know exactly.
It's a distinct sound. Yeah, it's a distinct generic sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of any of the artists off the top of my head, and any of the ones that I can think, I don't want to name drop.
Yeah, like the Backseaters. You know what I was thinking about? So you went to If I Fail's first EP release show. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, you have seen us before. Because we played that show.
Shit. I know I was
showed up like at the end.
Unless I missed your set again.
It's fucking possible.
No, I was actually there for that whole show. So in a roundabout way, I totally fucking have.
You have seen the Backseaters.
That's
so
funny.
I can let it go.
Okay, good. Yeah.
but we're way better than we were then. So you should still come see us again.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Denver. It's weird because you know what else is like even weirder. I don't know how much you know about this, but you probably know a deal about it. But like Denver hardcore used to be huge, and now like Colorado Springs,
It shifted.
like
Yeah.
somehow it boomed, and like all these bands started coming up, and like they have so many shows down there. Like
Dude.
Griffith and Lissette are driving down to Colorado Springs like probably once a week, if not every other week.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that too, that a lot of the big the more major hardcore tours don't stop in Denver. They stop in fucking Colorado Springs.
Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool because that's like the one soda jerk venue that's left.
That might be an issue too, is Live Nation.
They don't
and
want
it's
to book.
either Black Sheep, Live Nation, or Oriental Theater.
Dude, when people started going to the Oriental for shows, man, that blew me away because I played there when I was
dad rock bands. Dude,
I played there when I was like 15, and there were still fucking chairs everywhere. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
It was like there wasn't even a floor. Like it was literally chairs up to the stage. And when I was playing metal, like we played there, and it was just like I mean now like that area, Tennyson, and everything is like really fucking cool.
Yeah,
but like. I remember going in there and it was just like this dumpy little neighborhood. And then we pull up to this fucking venue that was like, what is this place, dude? Like people see plays and shit here. You know what I mean? Like musicals, not fucking.
I've never actually played there.
So I've heard it's a lot different now and it's a lot cooler now.
Yeah.
And they're turning it into more of an actual like
Knox
venue.
Blues played there.
Yeah, it's becoming more of an alternative venue, but that's what blew me away because I was still thinking of that place that had all the rinky dink little foldable chairs and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you guys going to the Oriental? That's like yeah. But apparently it's a really cool place now, and I guess it's like kind of your only real alternative to now the Marquee and Summit and everything now that Live Nation took that over, which is weird, man. I went to that show over the weekend at the Marquee, and it was a sold out show. And I say that in quotation marks, sold out show.
Well, now sold out is much less.
Dude, it was like half capacity, man. Like, I was like expecting a normal sold out show, and I think
it's only like 300 and some people now sold out,
dude. Because I just remember it's kind of sad because that's like. I mean, for all of us, man, that's like the place. That was the place. Was
remember when the floor used to bounce?
Oh, dude, I loved it, man. And it was, and you would have like a sold out show like that, where people were literally backed like into the hallway over by the merch tables and shit. Yeah. It was like, dude, people were just standing around with like space to move their arms and shit. It was weird. Yeah, and I don't know, man. Maybe Live Nation's gonna do something good. Maybe not. Yeah. So far, I'm not too impressed. They stopped booking the shows that I like. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, in turn, the Gothic is because what's funny is before the Summit became like a major venue and like soda jerk venue, all of the bands I used to go see played at the Gothic. Like I saw A Day to Remember and Devil Wears Prada at the Gothic. A Day to Remember headlined the Gothic. I saw one of my favorite tours of all time. It was Parkway Drive, The Ghost Inside, Set Your Goals, and The Warriors.
Dude, that I remember that show.
Yeah.
That was a fun fucking show. That was so long ago. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. I remember that.
Just like seeing Set Your Goals and The Ghost Inside and Parkway Drive.
That was like
back to back.
That was like a powerhouse show.
And The Warriors. I was into The Warriors.
Yeah, man. I remember that was like, the Gothic used to be a really cool place to go see shows, and I think they still do like stuff every now and then that is like that would appeal to you or I, but
but that was like a staple. Like play the Gothic, and then became Summit main stage.
Yep. Yeah, which I guess I don't know. I hope did they lower the capacity there too, because that's like
I want to say yes. But I'm not 100% sure. I know that like going upstairs is like VIP now.
Yeah, they had, dude. Okay, so they
redid the fuck out of that place. It looks like a nightclub.
Yeah, it's the same thing at the Marquee. Man. Yeah, they redid.
Not saying anything bad, Live Nation. I still love you guys and want to play at your venue. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it looks different.
Book the backseaters.
Yeah,
for your next birthday.
Yes. We played birthday parties. We played at a block. get the fuck at this. Okay. So we got hit up on this website called Gig Salad.
Okay.
And like
I'm
it's
already all
mostly
about it.
yeah, it's
Gig
mostly
Salad.
like cover bands and shit like that. But I was like, fuck it, it's a way to, get us out there. And this dude hit us up and he asked if we would play his block party.
Okay.
And I said, well, check out our music, blah, blah, blah. And he hit me up and he's like, yeah, you guys sound great. Want you to play. We're going to pay you this much. And this is the address. And it was in a nice fucking neighborhood in Parker.
Damn.
And we show up and there was a shit ton of people. And you
Dude,
know what
the
they did?
fuck? All right, cool.
They had been there for a couple hours and we got set up. And right before we were about to play, they all got together and pulled up chairs or stood and watched us play for 2 fucking hours.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, we took like a little break in
Yeah.
between and like a bunch of people like bought merch and shit. But like everybody sat and watched and dug us. And
Damn.
that was like,
See,
I
that's
was
fucking
blown
rad, dude.
away.
Gig Salad. All right,
Yeah.
man.
Gig Salad. If you're not on it, get on it.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I did back when most of the music that I played, I was like early teens.
Yeah.
Like by 16,
Mhm.
the metal band I was in co-headlined the Gothic, which was actually
Yeah.
like a fucking dream come true back then.
What was your band called?
Sins of Babylon. That's the most like butt metal. Dude, trust me. Yeah, it was like, but it was like, it was fun. It was good
Yeah.
music. It was fun. I'm still friends with all those guys and everything. And some of them have actually gone on to play other music, which is cool. But we started in a band called Blunt Force Trauma, which was like, again, total butt metal, like the epitome of butt metal.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I was like 14 at the time, and so, somebody, I forget what they were doing at Clement Park, but they were having some big event there,
Yeah.
and they knew a couple of us, and they're like, "You guys should play this event." And so, like, keep in mind, this isn't like
Yeah.
refined, like, "Hey, we're musicians, like we're putting on a show."
Yeah.
This was like a couple 14-year-old kids who just made really loud, bad metal in their garage.
Chug, 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 chug.
Dude, yeah,
Chug, chug,
just screaming and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we set up on a tarp and some blankets at Clement Park, right by the bowl.
Yeah.
We had a generator powering our PA that
Mhm.
we like. It was mismatched speakers and shit like that. It was the most like,
Damn.
dude, it was in like the most like iconic little like punk rock metal thing that could have
Yeah.
happened. Like this shitty band
At a
like,
skate park.
at a skate park. But there was like a bunch of people that wouldn't really go to a skate park. I think they must have been like parents or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just remember like everybody did that same thing, right? They gathered around, they brought up their chairs, they were all excited, we were all stoked, except for here's where my story differs. They all fucking left.
Yeah.
So,
They probably went, oh, metal. I used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
listen
like,
to
what?
Van Halen back in the day.
yeah, that. Oh, dude, I used to get approached all the time because I was the guitar player and I had
Yeah.
that long hair. All the time, man, the barflies would just come up and be like, back in my day, I had long hair too. And I'm like, cool, Ron.
Of course you did.
Thanks. He's like, yeah, man, you fucking shred that thing. And then he'd do like the guitar hands, like
Yeah.
fuck yeah. And I'm like, cool, dude. Like,
And then they ask you about, like, people used to do it to me when I played drums. Do you know about Neil Peart from Rush? Yeah, everybody does. Everybody's asked me about him. Do you know about Alex Van Halen? Yeah, I know him too.
for guitarists, it's always, well, I guess in metal,
Yeah.
not so much in like hardcore and punk, but it was always Dimebag Daryl. Like, you ever
Yeah.
hear that Dimebag
Randy
Daryl guy?
Rhodes.
Yeah, Randy Rhodes. Fucking, oh yeah, dude. Zach Wild, all those guys. The Shredders. Fucking.
What was that dude? Sinister Gates.
Ooh,
Avenged
with
Sevenfold.
the top hat?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. If you're into top hats, I guess.
that band was weird too.
That was, dude, and that was like one of those bands that I feel like everybody in middle school was like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude, A7X and everything. And it's
Well,
like, I can't do it, man.
Nope.
I just can't.
I was like just
can't-
one
can't do
step
it.
off from Disturbed and
Yeah.
Slipknot, which
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to get down to some Slipknot.
Slipknot
There's
still
still-
fucks, man.
yeah,
They,
there's
if you
some
listen to their
songs
older
that-
stuff, it's still, yeah.
Left Behind still gets me a little pumped up.
Yeah. Slipknot still, they still got my heart, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's those bands like, it's kind of categorized in the same, I think, like anymore. You know, back then I could have been like, no, this is this subgenre of metal, and this is, you know, that's not metal, this is metal, you know, whatever, man, shut up. Yeah, it's all kind of the same. It's that, like, what did I call it earlier? That cock rock metal?
Butt metal.
Butt metal, yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
cock rock, butt metal.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just like, can't do it, man. And maybe if that's your taste, I'm not here to bash anybody's taste, but that's not mine.
No. Do you feel like music played a part in like helping you become a tattoo artist? Like, do you feel like
absolutely
getting into metal, like being around tattooed people and stuff?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Yeah, it's that whole. I think it's just the alternative lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because you're in the music scene, you're doing all that, especially.
That's the reason I have gauges.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit, I used to have hardcore kids. I got my buttholes, you know. Fucking, they're never going anywhere, man. Yeah, I think that was like one of the major influences, to be honest, because you know I'd always been drawing and everything, so it was always like, you know, I always had a sketchbook, I always did that shit, but finding an alternative outlet to that, which, you know, you pair heavy music, which for me it was always hardcore, man. Like hardcore and metal was just like the driving force for me. You know, I would draw little fucking designs with like band lyrics and shit like that, which is still like a prominent you know, attribute in my tattooing today. I love doing music related tattoos. And I
still haven't gotten that A Day to Remember tattoo. I still want to get that done by you. I promised you that idea.
You did. Yes. It's recorded now, so you have to do it.
No, anything said on the podcast legally is obligated to be held up. So
that was a good contractual agreement. I think you're very eloquent with your words.
Really? Because I got a little lost halfway through. And I was like, I'm just keep words.
Yeah, it's just that's how you sound like a lawyer, man. That's how you bullshit. You keep saying words, and people are like, oh,
the merger obligations.
Yeah.
But no, I told you about that idea, and that is an idea that you will have.
I have the sole claim to.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's that's been a major aspect in tattooing, you know, and like just the music scene in general, man, like, you know, meeting musicians and everything like that. It seems like half the people I tattoo are in bands or, you know somebody in a band or, you know, whatever. And it's just, I don't think you could have one without the other necessarily, you know, at least for me. You know, for other people that may be different, you know, not everybody's involved in music and all that shit, but
art is art. And if you can express, like if you have a love for art, you're going to express it in every single outlet. You know what I mean? And I can't draw for shit, but I love tattoos.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing is like, I feel like people in the music scene tend to appreciate art as well, just because you have that artistic sense, you know, I mean, music is art, you know, it's not separate. It is art. It's just a different creative outlet. And so obviously, you know, artists are going to tend to appreciate art more than just people on the street. You know what I mean? Like people can appreciate art, but to actually, I think that's why musicians are so fucking tattooed, you know? Yeah. Because we can be, and it's just like a different, you know, it's the art, man. I'm not hanging a poster on my wall. I'm hanging a poster on my arm.
Yeah. Well, and artists also understand a deeper meaning behind an image sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot more symbology.
This whole sleeve, it's an owl flying over a lighthouse, and then underneath it, it's like an octopus. And he's grabbing like a steering wheel and like breaking it. And like it's supposed to symbolize like having the wisdom to find your way. And then the octopus like steering, you know, the thing is like people who try and steer you in the wrong direction to, you know, get you away from the treasure that you're going for.
See, and that's why it's fun to tattoo people who understand shit like that. Because like, you know, you can come to me and be like, yeah, I want an octopus and an owl. And I'll be like, fuck, man. All right, let's do it. But, you know, you come with like a story and you almost have to find a way to translate that, which is fun because it's, you know, that's why I think I enjoy doing music related tattoos so much because you can take, you know, parts of lyrics and you could turn it into an image where it's like, what am I seeing with that? You know what I mean? Like some of my favorite tattoos that I've done are actually when people come in and they say, hey, I really like this song. I don't know what I want to get, but here's my favorite line from that song. And I'll sit there and I'll fucking listen to that song, dude.
That's really cool because then you can like develop your own image.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can kind of you take whatever symbology you have out of that, you know, like, because obviously people, you know, lyrics read differently to different people.
Yeah.
What this line may mean to them means something different to me, but it's cool when you can kind of find a common ground in that with an image.
Yeah. That's why it's cool being a songwriter too, is because you want to be in depth and tell a story, but you don't want to make it so personal that somebody goes, that's Jake Cook's life. That's what he went through.
Well, we know what's going on with him today.
You just make it vague enough so that somebody can be like, holy shit, that guy's going through the same thing I'm going through. It's like he wrote that song about what I'm going through.
That relatable sense.
Yeah,
man.
So when you get those words on you, like, not only does it mean something to you right then, but you can also look back at it and say, this is where I was.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't regret my Blink-182 tattoos, because if it wasn't for Blink, I wouldn't be playing music. You know what I mean? And I fucking loved Blink from the time I was 8 to, I mean, they still have a special,
I still love Blink.
They still have a special place in my
Don't fuck
heart.
around. I still love Blink.
I don't listen to them every day anymore.
Right.
But like, I always say that Blink-182 were my parents who raised me and taught me a bunch of shit. And the Gaslight Anthem was that girl that I fell in love with and married. Like, I love them both. Yeah. But in different ways.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. And I'm the same way, man. I have so many fucking tattoos now. Which it's funny because I say that, but to me, I don't. It's like, no, man, I still got a lot of space left. But that's because I have friends with their entire fucking faces covered. We both do. So like, you
think you'll ever get a face tattoo?
No, I don't think I will. And I say that confidently.
You have a pretty face.
Thank you. And I feel that way too. I feel
the only thing
I don't want to fuck that up.
I'd have to be like completely out of space. Like, eventually I'd like to get like up to here. Yeah. But like, I'd have to be completely out of space, but I'd want to do something where it like came like maybe over my ear.
Like, I like that. Yeah.
I don't want it like.
No, I could never do like my cheek or my fucking, something like that.
Something maybe poking out of my hairline.
That's kind of, I thought the same way too. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, fuck, man. But there's just no tattoos that I look back at and I'm like, wish I didn't get that. Like because that's where I have some shitty tattoos that I did on myself when I was 17, and they look
on your thighs.
Fucking, I have one on my chest that I did myself.
Yeah. Like in a mirror?
Like in a fucking mirror, dude.
Oh,
and it's
Jesus.
like, and it's actually, it's funny because like, it's bad, but it's not like as bad as you would expect. It's not like, whoa.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah. Like basically it's not one of those where if I say, hey, I did this in the mirror when I was 17, you'd be like, yeah, that fucking makes sense. Of course you did. It looks terrible. It's like, whoa, wait, how? Like, dude, it's crooked. It's crooked. I don't always like it, but it's it's one of those things where it's like, dude, that's where I was at when I was 17.
did it.
Yeah. Like that's, that's I think people overthink their tattoos a little too much. Like you literally
100%.
think, you think it to death, man. Like they'll come in and fucking, oh, I'm getting my first tattoo. I just don't really know what I want. I kind of want this, but I'm scared to have it on me forever. And it's like,
what's funny about this is this is leading directly into what I was just about to ask you.
Oh shit. Segue.
It's just, advice on getting your first tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly that. Don't think it to death, because
a lot of people get hung up on that forever.
They do, and it's like the commitment thing. And you know what? Once you have it, it's really exciting for a few days. Yeah. Honest to God, I remember this when I got my first tattoo. It was like, holy shit. I need to, because I got it on my shoulder. So it's like, I need to cut off all of the sleeves off of every shirt that I fucking own. And then I did that. And then, it kind of like, you kind of forget about it after a little bit. It's still there. Like, obviously, like, dude, sometimes I'll look down and I see like my hands are covered, my neck's covered, my fucking torso, all of my body.
Go, huh?
Yeah. And I go, oh shit, man, I have a lot of tattoos, I guess. Holy fuck. But like, you kind of have to just take that leap where it's like, you're not going to regret it. It's a part of you. If you're feeling this way now, if this is who you are now, it's always going to be who you are, who you were. You're just kind of documenting it in a different sense. Yeah.
In an artistic way, it's a part of your story.
Yeah. There's nothing fucking wrong with who you used to be. You know what I mean? Like you could be a better person. You could be a different person than that. You could not think the same way. You can have different beliefs, whatever. That's still who you fucking were. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when people come in, they're like, well, I just want something that's like not going to change. It's like, no. Everything's going to change, man. Like your tattoo, this little symbol of whatever the fuck, it's, that's not going to change, but the significance is, you know? And it's just, man, there's so much like that where it's like, fucking, why think about it? Just get your tattoo. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I That's almost word for word what I've told people is that, yes, it's forever, but if you're obsessed with this band or, you feel so strongly about this right now, you will look back on it in a nostalgic way or just as like maybe that shitty thing made me stronger.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a good like little snapshot in my life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And sometimes like, because there's some, stuff I have
Yeah.
tattooed on me that's like, really, dude? Why did
You should probably regret like ex-wives' names or something.
that? Yeah, but
You don't have to be so sturdy.
Yeah,
on
maybe don't stand with as much
ex-husbands.
conviction, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's like, I have tattoos that I look back and I'm like, wow, that like, would I get that now? No.
Yeah.
But like, dude, that's yeah, it's a part of who I am, part of who I was,
Exactly.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like it's cool. It's kind of like you have a scrapbook, but just, a little more painful.
Yeah. A little more painful, a little more can't lose it.
Yeah.
Can't go.
Yeah.
Oh, where did I put that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
There it is. Again.
Whoops.
Still there. I used the loofah on it. Still fucking there. Sometimes it blows me away when I wake up and I go, damn, these are still here. I mean, I got my first tattoo 10 years ago when I was 15.
Nice.
And it was a little eighth note back here. And like, I felt so badass. And I thought about it like,
oh yeah,
probably for weeks. Definitely when I went to Waterworld, the pool, I walked around. I wasn't looking at it the whole time, but I knew it was there.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of get that thing where it's like, everybody else is looking at this.
Yeah.
Everybody's
see staring at my
they
tattoo.
see it. Yeah. Yeah. No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Nobody gives a shit.
You know what's funny though is like the people who, get their first tattoo and it's like really big, or like people who, there's nothing wrong with this, but have you ever noticed that some people like go tattoo number 14, like tattoo number, yeah, like it's just funny because sometimes people have like, one tattoo and they look at me in the grocery store and they go,
yeah. Oh, dude, I get that all the fucking time.
It's just, it's I was like, telling Annika about it. It's like a funny thing. Like, I have a tattoo. You have a tattoo. We are brothers.
Yeah.
We are the same.
It's totally. No, people do that all the time. And it's kind of funny too, because like, God, it sounds so terrible, but there's some people that like, maybe you're from different walks of life. Maybe you're not the fucking same people. Maybe we have completely different views on things, and you'll still see them. And, it's like usually like some dude who like,
we are one.
Yeah. And it's just like, what's up, brother? And I'm like, nope, no. Hi, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you get your tats done? Around,
That's the best one. Where'd you get your ink done, bro?
Yeah, it's like
the one where it's like you didn't even make eye contact with them, but like they're talking to you.
It's like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yep. All the time, man. All the time.
I think it's awfully weird when people ask you, going back to the price, how much did that sleeve cost you? I don't know. It was multiple sessions, and I went to one guy, and you'll probably go to Joe Schmo down at X Shop.
Yeah, you're never gonna.
You should work at a place called X Shop.
X Shop.
X Shop.
Just
probably not.
Yeah.
You tell people you work at X Shop.
Yeah, maybe not.
Especially if it's XXX Shop,
right? It's like, what kind of shop is that, man? What kind of stuff are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Art. Okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Listen, hey, please don't report me to the IRS. Yeah, it's just funny, man. Like the tattooed culture that you have so many different like varieties within that. And it's all the time. And one of the things I make sure, this kind of sounds counterintuitive because I'm a tattoo artist. I'm trying to advertise myself and get people into my shop. I can fucking guarantee you that nobody in the gas pump next to me is going to come to my shop if I tell them where I work. So that's just like, kind of like, don't ever, this is for everybody out there who has tattoo artist friends. If you're at a party or if you're at a store or if you're at anywhere and somebody says, hey, where'd you get your tattoo? Don't look at your tattoo artist friend and be like, oh, he does them. That is the worst fucking conversation to have ever, because you're just sitting there in the middle of like the grocery store.
So I had this idea, man. Tell me what. People have asked me that. And I'm not even a tattoo artist. They go, what do you think about this idea? I don't know. It's not going on my fucking body.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Dude,
I'll tell
the
you
time.
to get it. I tell you to don't get
Yeah,
it.
dude.
I'll never see you again. It doesn't affect my life.
I'll be sitting there like in the grocery store, man, like, you know, after work or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm in that fucking days where it's just like I'm literally just trying to
Just
walk,
go
maybe get
home.
like my oatmeal and shit. Like just leave me alone,
Yeah.
man. You know, and like somebody just wants to start talking about fucking tattoos with me, and I'm just like, you know, I did this to myself. I really did. And
you made yourself a walking, and that's the thing too, is like half of people will see you as unapproachable and scary. The other half will be like, I can talk to that guy.
I can walk up and ask him any question I want.
I can touch him.
Maybe
and
let's
move his arm.
Yeah.
And you know,
maybe let's find a balance of that approachability. Like maybe, hey, be like, hey, I can like approach that guy from a distance and maybe like, you know, say one or two things to him. But I'm not just gonna walk up and like
grab his wrist.
Yeah, we're not. What's up, bro? Yeah, no, we're not bros, dude.
The brother thing. That's weird.
Brother. Yeah, hey, brother. I'm like,
there's some weird brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like when we say it, like in our circle of friends, it's
a
brother.
totally
But some people have a different tone behind it because you and I are white guys, and there are other white guys who get tattoos.
They call themselves brothers.
Yes,
and it's not. You don't want to be brothers with those guys. That's
you don't want to be brothers with them at all.
They say, "Hey, brother," and you say, "No, thank you."
Nope.
I'm good.
I'm not going to any meetings.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that, man. Let's.
No, I will not tell you where my tattoo artist works.
Dude, how do you think I feel, man? I literally have blonde hair and blue eyes and a fuckload of tattoos. Some of the people that approach me, I'm like, please, I'm going to fucking kill you or run away. I don't know which I'm going to do first.
Yeah.
So let's like fucking, dude.
Yeah.
It's interesting. For sure. Brother.
Well, I always ask people this. What's your plan from here forward?
My plan.
Are
just
you
kind of as a general?
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense with like bands and artists and stuff, but I feel like everybody has a plan, whether they're willing to talk about it, whether they've thought about it.
Right.
That's my favorite question to ask people, like especially people who aren't doing what they want to be doing. I always ask them, what's your end game? What are you working towards? And like you being a person of passion, just like me, you know, you're probably always working towards something.
Constantly. Yeah.
And do you feel like that's your piloting or?
You know, I tend to really spread myself thin with a lot of things, which I actually enjoy. I don't like sitting around. I don't like fucking, wasting my time. So I have a lot of plans, man. Like not only with tattooing, I have some plans in the works. Can't really say what yet. But they're going.
Because you go to like expos and
I do all kinds of shit. Like but over the next year, some people know about it, some people don't. I can't really announce publicly what's going on yet. But I got some cool shit in the works with that I'm really excited about. And it kind of pairs into aviation. Aviation is something that
You're gonna fly a plane, put it on cruise control, and tattoo people.
Maybe not that. Maybe I might take
that's
down
probably not a good idea.
The old situational awareness down a couple notches. But I mean, it pairs into that. Aviation is something that I'm very passionate about too, which is something I could literally sit and talk about for fucking hours. But
so just a little side question: is that something you've always been passionate about, or were you just kind of like, I want to do that one day?
That's I grew up wanting to be a pilot. That was my original goal. That was my original plan. I was going to enter flight lessons. I've been flying airplanes since before I could cognitively think, really, because I have a couple family members. My aunt and my uncle are both lifelong pilots, both captains for the airlines and everything. And so I grew up flying in airplanes with them. I grew up wanting to fly. I grew up learning to fly. And, I was in actual flight lessons, logging hours when I was 11 years old. And it's just something that kind of, I started to, what I was kind of mentioning with the straight edge thing. I used to be pretty fucking into drugs and alcohol and really fucking myself up. And not something, I can be proud of that, actually. Yeah, fuck that. I am proud of that. But it kind of tapered off with that. I kind of got just more involved in other stuff. Flying took a backseat because it was like, maybe that's not as cool as playing music and all that shit. you know, like kind of, it was like my stick it to the man thing, but it was always something that I wanted to continue. It was always something that I was like, you know, I'm going to finish that one day.
Yeah.
And when I moved back from California, I was in such a fucking weird place in my life that I was like, you know what, I need something to accomplish. And I called up my uncle and I was like, you know what, dude, I want to finish doing this. Let's meet up at the airport. Started flying. Now I hold my private pilot's license and a couple different ratings and everything. And within that, I'm looking to, I'm going to do my commercial rating so I can you know, be a commercial pilot. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, fly for airlines. But, you know, I want to do something with aviation. And I'm kind of with this plan that I have going on right now, it's going to be meshing those two worlds. The aviation side of me and the artistic side of me are kind of going to come together in a really cool way. Which there will be a big, you know, announcement on that when it does happen. But, you know, I got, those are the two at the forefront. You know, beyond that, man, I'm right now volunteering at a school with my old ceramics teacher who like I kind of stayed in contact with. I kept running into art galleries and stuff like that. And so now, you know, once or twice a week, I'll go up to A West High School and help out in the arts department there. Just kind of hang out, help kids, do whatever I got to do.
Nice.
That's a lot of fun. So I'd like to keep doing something with that. Maybe do like, I don't know, some sort of mentoring or something like that. But man, it's kind of hard to cover it all because I'm the type, I stay up till 4:00 in the fucking morning, just thinking about things, you know? Just thinking about shit that I want to do. Like I could do this or I could do that, or, you know, it never shuts off. So, and I'm the type of person, I used to look at that as a curse in all honesty, because it used to give me really bad fucking anxiety, you know, which I think is common for a lot of people.
I think it's a curse if you don't write it down.
I don't even write it down, man. I think it's more,
if I write it down, then I feel like it's not wasted and I can always go back to it.
Right.
Because I have a lot of good ideas where if I don't write it down, I'll be like, man, I was really stoked on that one thing at 3 a.m.
Yeah. What was this? Yeah. I guess, okay. In that sense, like I have in my phone, in my notes,
your memory just might be,
it's just random shit. But no, I think it's more of a curse if you don't execute it, you know, if you don't actually act on it, because, you know, one of the things that, a lot of people deal with, I think, especially in this kind of lifestyle, you know, where you have a lot of people who are very music driven, very art driven. You run into a very passion driven too. With that also comes the negatives, which is, you know, some mental health issues like anxiety and stuff like that. Because if you think a lot, you're going to overthink, right? No 100%. Matter how positive those thoughts.
Well, and trying to understand things, and
it's hard to file.
If you don't see things at face value and you like dig deep on, well, why do people do this? What's lying behind this? What, you know, and you try to understand things, you can drive yourself nuts trying to understand things.
Absolutely. You know, and when you start to do that in terms of like your life goals and your life accomplishments, because I very firmly believe that if you are obtaining your goals, like 100%, if you're like, goal reached, I'm done, your goals aren't fucking high enough. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like hands down, I have goals that I will literally never reach because I'm constantly expanding them. And I'm okay with that. And to a lot of people, that seems very overwhelming. I think when you sit there and it's fucking 3:00 in the morning, you're spinning, you're thinking about, no, but you're sitting there and you're thinking about all these things. And I think that's where a lot of people who have a lot of potential to have really big plans and really big goals kind of fall short on that because they get so caught up on the like, well, I'm never going to reach this. Yeah. Well, fuck it, man. You know what? You probably won't. I won't. That's okay. Keep going because you're gonna reach milestones along the way. That are probably bigger than the ones you anticipated.
And you might influence other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, what's funny is I was kind of thinking about this going back. We started the podcast talking about silent P's.
Yes.
And one thing that kept coming up was passion.
Yes.
Is like a huge thing for just humanity and just, you know, it's huge for someone like you, someone like me. Another P is purpose.
Yeah.
Passion and purpose. If you have that, like, those are
that's all you need.
Huge things.
Yeah.
You know? I think it's two things that people desire, even if they don't know it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's something that, you know, I think they kind of have to coexist together. Like they kind of have to, if you're passionate you may not necessarily have purpose, but if you're passionate, you'll find that purpose. If you have a purpose, you may not necessarily have that passion, but you can use your purpose to, it all kind of.
I don't think you can like have a purpose to do something without being passionate about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because anything that gives you purpose is going to take time.
Oh God, yeah. And
especially if it's something, like you're saying that you set a really high standard for, you're going to fizzle out on something that you don't have passion for, and you're not going to find purpose
immediately. Because most of the things that I think people are very caught up in instant gratification these days.
100%.
Like with anything, with music, with art, with life in general.
2-day shipping on Amazon.
Yep. There you go. There it is. But yeah, I mean, you have that, that sense of like, I need this and I need it now. Dude, I have things that I want so fucking badly that I know that I'm not going to have for like another 10 years, maybe longer. Maybe I'll never get that. And that, I think, is where people kind of tend to give up. Musicians, they'll be like, well, I want to be touring and I want to be playing sold out shows and I want to do this. You got to, dude, you got to fucking go out and you got to do those tours where it's just one fucking dude in the venue.
That was, I will never get over. So I brought it up on one of the other podcasts.
Did you? Okay.
I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but for those of you who haven't heard this story, I went on tour with If I Fail, and we went to San Diego, like Laguna Beach area.
Yeah. So you guys,
was it in San Diego or was it
the show itself was in Anaheim? Because I remember you guys went to San Diego the night before, and I was going to drive down and see you. But then you ended up coming and hanging out in Laguna Beach for that day at the tattoo shop.
That's right. Yeah. We played at that bar where someone drove a car through it.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah. No, but anyway, so in Anaheim, it was at this pizza place, and there was like one section of the building that had a stage and like a floor, and then there was a doorway and a like little window, and you could see through it. Yeah. And it was a pizza place, way overpriced pizza, with an arcade, and I think there was like a baseball team party going on. And
dude, it was like a Cub Scout get together, baseball party, like all of that. Oh my God.
Well, and there was a band that played before us that didn't believe in tuning their guitars. They told me that directly. We don't believe in tuning because it's all about how it sounds, man. Whatever. But If I Fail, which you're going to hear at the end of this podcast, is very like in your face, like it gets you pumped the fuck up. And all the bands had left. They played and left.
It was like there was, I think, 1 or 2 kids that stuck around for a few songs at the end of it. Yeah.
But old Brad came to see us because you're good friends with Colin and everybody, and you loved If I Fail's music just I did. And we started playing, and just like every show on that tour, it didn't matter if there was one person or 20 people. I gave the same show. I threw my guitar around, I jumped, I did all that. But Brad went fucking hard, like singing along to every word. And like, I think you threw a chair. Maybe
I threw a chair and I flipped the table.
Yeah, just got fucking nuts, which like sparked Marcus and I were like, yeah, like it just that energy. And like, I'm not gonna lie, you put off an energy just in talking to you that makes me like want to be positive and be a better person and like be a more passionate person. Because you can tell, like, when talking to you, you're like, there's very few people who you can sense that you're genuine. Mm-hmm. You're not fucking with me. You're not telling me what I want to hear. Like, and I'll never forget that show. That was one of my favorite. That was passion in the rawest form.
And I appreciate what you said about it a lot, like very much so.
Well, I look up to you.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's something like I shouldn't say it's something that I strive to do, not out of a sense of ego, but like basically I've been in a lot of like different places in my life. You know what I mean? And if anything that I've done or anything that I've gone through, or like, because it hasn't all been positive, it hasn't all been good. Yeah. But there's a lot of good that comes with it.
Mhm.
And if any of that could, at all influence another person to want to be more positive and want to do more of that shit,
Yeah.
that's fucking awesome, dude. That is my purpose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we were talking about that kind of shit. That is my purpose.
Well, it's infectious. Like being around you, it just like you give off energy. Like talking
Thanks,
to you
man.
the way you talk, like like I said, you're passionate about things. Like you give off an energy that just like, I mean, it's like a boost for me for sure.
That's all I could ever.
You're
hope
never
for, man.
like
Yeah.
mopey.
I don't like half-assing life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just anything,
And that's-
conversation, whatever, man. You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. That was one. That show was one. I just remember calling like after every like, thank you everybody, Brad.
Because it seemed like there were 1,000 people in the fucking room.
Well, and so my favorite part was like, because it was like I lost my fucking voice after that. Do you remember? Like after outside the venue, I was like, fuck. Dude. My favorite part was every time I would look over, like in between songs, and see everybody in the arcade and the pizza plate, like all the little kids in their baseball uniforms, just like jaw dropped, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
There's this
what's
fucking
going
dude
on
running
with
around.
those?
There's this dude like
Yeah.
just punching the air and like throwing tables around. And
There are 5 guys in there going ham right now.
Dude, that was so much fucking fun, man. That was, I think about that all the time. Like, oh my God.
That was amazing.
Yeah. That was a good time, man. That's probably one of my, when I think, because like obviously Colin, everybody we have a lot of talks about Colin, and that's probably one of my favorite memories was that, because that you guys came out, you guys came and hung out. He was one of of my friends who came out and like made a point to come see me, which was really fucking cool.
Well, that's I think one of the most amazing things about him is he just connected so many people. Like Marcus. Like we probably wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, I mean,
or like my podcast with Taylor, or just being so tight with like, honestly, some of the people who are my best friends now.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be,
that's how he was.
Wasn't for him.
Yeah, that's how it was though, because he, it was one of the. I can say the same thing because it's like
he accepted everybody.
Yeah. Dude, everybody was his best friend, man. That's the thing. That's the coolest fucking thing, man. Like
you just automatically felt tight with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. No, and that's how
maybe it was his music, because the lyrics were so honest. You were like, I feel you.
Yeah.
You
could
me.
get,
we are one and the same.
Brother.
Colin was not down for that.
Colin was not down, man.
He had a lot of brothers, but
not like that.
No.
He had a lot of brothers. It was not a brotherhood.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is he said, I love you, and he called everybody his brother.
He did.
You know what I mean?
That's something that I've because somebody mentioned that, I think around that time, whether it was at the funeral or around the funeral or something like that he always did that he always said that he loved everybody. You know what I mean? And that's something
I definitely have talked about that a lot.
Yeah. That's something that kind of really resonated with me, because I try to say that to my friends now. Like make sure to fucking hug your friends.
100%,
make sure to tell your friends that you love them, man. Like there's nothing.
For some reason, like men just have this weird thing where like, if I say I love you, it's
you kind of have to like grunt back or some shit. Fuck that, man. Like it's like
but like
same. No, man. Tell your fucking friends you love them. That is so important. Which is cool, because it's, we come from such like a weird, like that mixture of like the really hardened scene, what I mean? Where everyone's just fucking tough. It's angry music and all that shit. And then dude, we're all like, oh, I love you, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you can't tell me that anybody in that scene doubts that they're loved. You know what I mean?
Not at all. Yeah. There's no doubt, which is one of the coolest things which is like, so I wish more people would kind of, see that within, like, especially hardcore, because people obviously they make their assumptions and everything like that, but like, dude, that is always something that has always been so strong within that scene. And I mean, predating everybody, man, predating us, like back in the 80s and all that shit. It was all love, man. Like it's that's what it is, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Well, that's because people see the the hardcore dancing and shit, and they go, oh, they all fucking hate each other. They're hitting each other.
It's like, no, man.
But like, even, I mean, I saw Stick to Your Guns one time, and he was talking about that, how like, a lot of these people are people who didn't feel like they belong anywhere. And, you're going to have your little like people who, you know, either don't open up to it or what
Right.
have you. But yeah, there's a sense of community. You see it anytime you see a circle pit
Oh yeah.
and somebody falls down,
They're
somebody's
not
gonna
down for
pick you
long.
up.
Yeah, they're not down for long, man. Yeah, that was that's you know, at that show that I went to the other night.
Yeah.
It was so fucking weird, man, because that band, it was like the one I went to see was it's like that really powerful, like kind of hardcore pop punk mesh.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, just like nobody was fucking moving around and shit. And so like
it was just a bunch of individuals.
yeah, dude, you know, which is like that's fine. Like you're totally allowed to sit there and enjoy the show and all that shit. But like, you know, I don't know, man. It's just it's weird because it doesn't seem as fun to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's so many people that I met just via shows
dude.
and seeing them at the same shows.
Most of the
and
people
like,
that I know from shows. And there's even people that I don't know, but I know. You know what I mean? Like where it's like
exactly.
it's you mutually know them. You've known about them for several years. You know most of the shit about them. Like, you know, and I don't mean like in a negative sense. I mean like, you know, who they're fucking, you know, dating or married, you know, you know what they do for a living, you know, all this shit. It's like you've been friends with them for years, but you've never fucking said a word to them. I have a bunch of people like that too, which, you know, that's fucking crazy. And it's awesome, you know, and I love meeting those people finally, because I think it's really cool to finally like associate a personality with it, you know?
Yeah. Well, because I am 100% sure. Like, I definitely saw you in Darkly promos, and I probably, you know, 99% sure I saw you at shows.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, I always knew of you, seen you, but like, now I know you. There's this dude, Trevor, though, that I saw him. I used to see him at every pop punk show. And like, every time I'd see him, like him and I would talk.
Yeah.
Because it was like we knew each other.
Yeah, you could, what's up, man? Yeah.
Him and I knew each other for 3 years before we even knew each other's name.
Holy shit.
There was just one time I was like, hey man, I forgot. I don't know if you ever told me, but like, what is your name? And he goes, it's Trevor. I don't know your name either. I don't think we ever exchanged that.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's insane. But tell us a little bit about the song that you have chosen for the end of the podcast.
So it's an If I Fail song. Welcome Legion, This Is War. And it is just, it's one of the first songs, obviously, you know, when they first released that first EP and everything, they released 0 Stars first. But Welcome Legion was like the first song that really fucking stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And I've seen
Out of options for me.
Yeah. You know, and I've been to, you know, a handful of If I Fail shows. I could always, you know, make it out when I could, and maybe not as often as I wanted to in hindsight. Yeah. But that was just one of those songs, man, that like he always closed with it. And I always just remember like everybody bum rushing the front, and everybody was friends, and it was just such a good fucking time. And it's always one of those songs that when I think about Colin, that's like the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah. And it brings back a lot of good memories, man. Yeah. So 100%. It's a cool one.
I think it's an absolute fucking banger. And I'm glad you chose it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for doing this podcast. Honestly, it could probably be a fucking 5-hour podcast.
Probably, man.
Because there's just so many things that you said that I'm like, holy shit, me too. That's how I feel. I want to expand.
Like, wait, we gotta talk about this.
Expand on that.
Yeah.
Like, so many things ran through my head, but like, not to go back to the problems of people, but I feel like a lot of people, when they're having a conversation, they're thinking about what they're gonna say next.
Right.
And like, I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
That's how
it was like on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And, you know.
No, man, that's the art of conversation. Like I said before, is like dying. It's dwindling. And so I'm thankful for my job because I can sit here and have conversations with people all fucking day.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, like you said, you just, instead of waiting to talk, you just sit there and you listen, and you learn a lot of shit about people in the meantime. That's cool.
Yeah. And people want to be listened to. And like a big thing that I've learned is you can turn somebody's mood around just by asking how their day was.
Dude. Yes.
Like people, you're in, you know, waiting for the person at the grocery store to scan your shit. Like a lot of people will stand there and wait. But if you go, how's your day going? Like sometimes like people want to talk about themselves.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And they want to feel like someone's interested. So
That's all it takes, man. Just say hi, ask how things are going,
Yeah,
find a common ground. You can find a common
Definitely.
ground with literally anybody in this fucking world.
100%.
Cool, man. It's
I'm
been
so
fun.
glad we got to do this.
Yeah, this has been fun, man.
We'll do it again sometime too.
I'm down.
Maybe after your, big news
Little
comes out.
little kaboom.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
Of course.
And for everybody listening, this is Welcome Legion. This is War by If I Fail. End of podcast. Right on. Everybody on YouTube, if you want to hear the song, make sure you listen to the podcast on Google Play or Apple Podcasts.